Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the HeroesCCL, brought to you by me. How's it going? This where the lads hang out? Yeah, it is. Hello, I'm your lad. It's me, Tetcher, putting on my London accent. But welcome to the stream. I am your co-streamer for the HeroesCCL today. I am Tetcher. I know you have a lot of options when it comes to where you get your casting. I appreciate that you get it from me, your casting dealer, because esports is my word I'm probably not allowed to say on Twitch or YouTube, so we're not going to do it. So, I hope you're all ready for some wonderful action today, because today we have the continuation of the CCL playoffs. I just chugged a can of non-brand energy drink because I refuse to say brand names when they don't sponsor me if I can help it. So I have made a terrible mistake. I'm ready to bring you some games. Let's find out what we have coming up first. As you can see here, via yesterday's games, Simplicity continued their streak of beating almost every single other team in a 3-1 series. The only team that has survived the 3-1 curse is 30k, who went 0-3. But it happens. So Simplicity, terrible mistakes make us who we are. Exactly, Zul rules. So Simplicity beat out Crowd Control, gaining revenge for the time they went 0-3 in the group stage, moving themselves into the upper bracket, the winners finals, sending Crowd Control down to the losers bracket. And WildHeart Esports continued their incredible spree by beating out Oxygen Esports in some very solid games. Fun games from both teams, but WildHeart were easily the better team that day, and as such, our first match for today is going to be that winners finals, the upper bracket. Simplicity, the seed number 5 team. Number 6 team, putting on just an insane performance to make it this far, to get to this point. Really, really impressive to make it from seed number 6 to right now. They are guaranteed top 3. No matter what, they are in the top 3 teams. Nicely done. Feels good. I'd rather prefer uncut video game streams from Tetcher. Highly recommend him. He came over to my house, had all video game streams immediately packaged in small bag. Nice. Love it. Alrighty, but on the lower side, our second series for today that we will be covering, Crowd Control will be taking on Oxygen Esports. They will be going at it for the second time, of course, because everyone has played each other at least twice. Surprise, surprise. Funny how a group stage works. Neither of these teams have played each other in the pre-season, so we don't get any extra information there, as they are unfortunately on other sides of the bracket. In fact, hang on. I don't believe it is possible. There is only one more rematch possible from the pre-season, and that would be WildHeart Esports versus Crowd Control again, which is a round 1 game in the pre-season. But of course, when we talk about the actual season games, the time Oxygen Esports played against Crowd Control were able to come out on top in a 3-2. This was the later season where Oxygen seems to struggle a bit. But it's all good. So, we're ready to get jumping into the games as soon as possible. We're waiting for the players to get set up. And we'll be underway as soon as we can. Simplicity vs WildHeart is where we are starting off. And unsurprisingly, WildHearts did beat Simplicity the last time they played, because bloody everyone did for a while. Simplicity really having kind of a shocker when it came to the actual season. Simplicity losing 3-2 to WildHearts though, so that wasn't actually that bad for them. But obviously Simplicity did have a pretty rough middle of the season where they lost a 30k to Crowd Control, WildHearts. They beat Granite Gaming and Chili Mountain, but that's an oof. That is the Granite Gaming is actually more impressive, but the Crowd Control, the Chili Mountain one, unfortunately, less of an impressive feat. So we'll see if they can continue their spree, because obviously we have been seeing Simplicity absolutely dominate every single person they play against in this season so far. They have been dunking on nerds left and right, and have really been playing their season well. Whereas WildHeart Esports were sitting in a pretty solid second place for the entire season. never only really taking first place for a short period of time. Oxygen Esports were the dominant team throughout the season, and Crowd Control, of course, ended up taking it at the end. So WildHearts have been sitting pretty middle of the board, but they are playing very, very well. And of course, you have the wonderful Justing meta, which makes everyone cry. I am kidding. It is pretty decent because it keeps working. Good for them. It's very interesting to see how some of the teams here, in fact, Simplicity and WildHearts are two of the main teams who have really established their own meta in the CCL, and every other team is just like, what if we just keep doing the normal stuff? And they're just like, okay, we're going to create two very different metas that have similarities but are different, and just sort of just beat everyone else with them. It's pretty wonderful to see. It reminds me of the old Expert days back in the day with ADRD, where he sort of just create his own meta and everyone would be forced to react. It was always fun to see. But in this case, we're going to be preparing to head into game number 1 as soon as possible. I'm loading up the main stream on my other monitor to see when we know the maps so that we can get all the information we do need. Feels decent. It looks also like the clean feed is a little stabler today, so we're not going to complain about that in the slightest. We're going to say that everything is good there, and we don't have to worry about all those issues that we had yesterday because there were a lot. But it looks like we are pretty okay this time. So we'll be ready to jump in as soon as possible. Let's have a look at hero priorities for these two teams. So, Stukov is going to be a hero that we look at quite a lot here, and that is definitely a priority for WildHeart. It is a little bit further down when we look at Simplicity. With Simplicity playing the Stukov 9 times this season, it's being played 14 times by WildHeart, because Simplicity, they leaned a little bit more heavily on the Brightwing. This number is deceiving, though, because Simplicity, they do still run the Brightwing, but with Legacy coming into play, they seem a little bit more comfortable on the heroes like the Ana, who has jumped up in priority quite a bit as well, and a little bit more Deckard Cain has come in with Legacy taking over the supporting duties. Always good to see. So that actually flips those statistics around a bit, moving from Collusion over to Legacy. On the other side, oh, we don't have maps. Okay, that was just player statistics. In terms of other stuff, WildHearts, in fact, 2 of their top 3 heroes are supports, with Stukov being played 14 times, Diva 12 times, and Uther 8 times tied with Urel. So that's pretty solid there. They definitely like that double support. We've been seeing it played a lot. In terms of Simplicity, they have really started playing a lot of that Uther as well in the later season. As such, he's up to 6 games for them. So it's good to see them bringing that in too. Lots of flexibility between these two teams. A lot of their stuff is contested. Where they really start to differ, though, is what they do with their tank and what they do with their second damage, with their offlaner, sorry. With the WildHeart Esports choosing to run a lot more bruisers and rarely actually playing what could be considered an actual warrior tank role. They kind of just ignore this as much as they can most of the time. Whereas when we look at Simplicity, they will still run a main tank the majority of the time, and sometimes will put the Uther as the main tank as opposed to putting one of the damage dealers on it, which is always very creative and interesting. And we can also see the difference in the off lanes, as we said before, where we do see Simplicity running a bit more of a deadly melee assassin style off lane. They've been running a little bit of Thrall, a lot more Hoggo, who's a very much a high damage offlaner. They've been bringing out a little bit more of the Malthael and Zeratools. They've been bringing a lot of those in to really get themselves that extra damage in team fights, as opposed to going for a more bruisery setup, which is what we see a bit more from WildHeart Esports, because they usually run bruisers as main tanks. So we're seeing the Divas a lot more from them. We're seeing a lot of the Urels, a lot of stuff like that, where they're a little bit more solid when it comes to clearing the lane and tanking. All right, we have our bans. It looks like Simplicity is taking us to Volskaya Foundry. They banned out Battlefield of Eternity, meaning WildHeart Esports banned out Dragonshire for us. So we will not be going to Battlefield or Dragonshire. And our first map chosen by Simplicity is going to be Volskaya Foundry, meaning that our first pick is going over to WildHeart Esports. And the draft looks like it is going to be starting now. So we're going to be heading into that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this going. Welcome to the draft. We're ready to begin this series. This is the upper bracket finals. Winner moves on to the grand finals. Loser will move down to the lower bracket and will have one more chance at making it into the grand finals. WildHeart Esports with the first pick, first ban, as the map choice is Simplicities, as we are getting ready to head all the way in Let's get this going. Starting off with the Chromie ban. Simplicity been running that a lot in the last few weeks, really leaning heavily on that Chromie for Hosty, who has been really just kind of destroying everyone in his way with it, so do not blame them for that at all. Uther going to be taken out. We've been talking about those double supports. Both these teams like it a lot, but we're going to see that taken away. Both teams trying to just remove it from play, not get bothered by it, just take it out of the equation so they don't have to worry. Cassia, one of the top supports, banned out pretty consistently by every team these days. The most banned heroes by Simplicity, by WildHeart Esports, have included Cassia. It's been Chromie, Medivh, and Cassia, and they've banned out 2 of those here, trying to force that Medivh ban onto Simplicity, who, of course, he is in their most banned heroes as well, 16 times banned. And there he goes. Chromie 15 times banned. Hogger, even though he's a newer hero, has been banned 11 times by Simplicity. Not feeling comfortable playing it, and they banned a Deathwing out quite a bit as well. Also, Simplicity have had Uther banned against them 14 times. You can see the respect coming in there, whereas WildHeart have had it banned against them 8 times. However, Hogger struggles a little bit into the Tychus. That percentage damage, very hard to deal with. If you can catch Hogger while he's spinning, he's not going to be able to control himself as effectively, meaning it's a little easier to focus him down, target him, and try and pick him off. The Tychus as well, a little bit more hard engaged for their style here. Masquerade again, like in that main tank. Zergling currently hovering the Hogger, but we could very easily see him swap that to swap that over. They're not Simplicity, though, so we will likely... So Lutano, obviously, cannot get his Hogger, which he's been really enjoying. And we see something that WildHearts have relied on very, very heavily in the games yesterday, Mephisto. He has been a very, very big crutch for them. They've leaned on him hard. So far in their series, they've only played him 2 times and have a 50% win rate, and those were those games yesterday. Johanna is removed here, removing the main tank from WildHeart Esports. Again, they don't have to pick a main tank, and they often don't. Zeratul taken out as well, trying to remove those tools from Cure, leaving the Malthael up, who can actually have a reasonable lane versus Hogger. Support and offlane are still available for Simplicity. We've seen them very consistently run the Ana Malthael composition. They don't this time, though. They go Leoric and Deckard, giving themselves some extra terrain to set up for Diablo charges, and Deckard going to try and deal with that Mephisto. That is a risky pick here. Can Deckard healing keep up enough with the Mephisto? What it can do at least is apply shielding, which will help out a lot in blocking at least some of that initial damage when Mephisto comes in to give people time to reposition. Also gives them great area control, which on this map is fantastic. We see WildHeart going back to a classic. They bring back the Lili, double support Lili this time. Great to see. Last time they ran it single support, but double support Lili, so a potential damage Lili coming in here with Maiev as the main tank for pick here. The second time they have run it, as predicted by the great Jonkso Cat, the Jinxie Cat herself. As we see that Maiev coming in, the Lili coming in as the second support. We see Sylvanas for Simplicity, potential Wailing Arrow if they do go for a Jug of 1,000 Cups. Mind Control to try and stop Maiev running away with those tethers. Could really set them up. And of course, you can predict where Mephisto is going to return to by looking at his shade. And if you can get the timing right on it, you can Mind Control Mephisto from a distance and trap him. Pull him into your team to get a very solid engage. Both these teams working around each other, looking for counters. Let's see which one's going to come out on top. This is one of the most interesting drafts we have seen so far. These two teams are playing around each other beautifully while both playing their very unique styles. Simplicity have gone a little more standard than they would normally, but overall I think both these drafts are just peachy, which makes me very excited. This should be a fun game no matter what. That Maiev main tank is always very exciting, but there's a lot of hard engage available for the side of Simplicity to try and maybe shut that down. That Sylvanas, very solid pick here, and if Simplicity can get a head start, that Sylvanas is going to allow them to get a very big snowball lead. Let's see if they can do it. It's going to come down to this series to decide who will be our first grand finalist and who will have to fight next week for their survival and their place in the grand final. The hype is real. I hope you're hyped with me because the game has begun. Welcome to the Volskaya Foundry. On the left-hand side, Simplicity fighting all the way from seed number 6 to the upper bracket final, running quite standard here. Team Nut on the right. It is WildHeart Esports bringing in the pain. We've got the Lily on funds, not the main support here. He's starting off with that Wind Serpent, getting that extra blind here. It's great for damage build Lily. Spam it out. Keep that damage coming. Let's see where we go. Blinding Wind coming out. Funds already trying to apply some pressure. I realize the game sound is low. I will turn that up. Also, sorry we're not live. We had a little bit of lag earlier. This is just what we're having to deal with. That is now too loud. There we go. Hopefully that's good. Let me know if you need the game sound lower or higher. Pickkid trying to tether in Masquerade. Masquerade follows it down. Great drain hope there from Cure on that Lee Yorick, who is heading immediately down to bot lane. So is Tychus, though, very interestingly. Looks like they're going to maybe two-man this as Hosty's forced to back up. Pickkid comes in, seeing if he could get a tether. Unable to do so, but they do get some good harassment damage onto Hosty. I'm going to turn down the game sound a little bit more. We're only, as you can see, we're only 3 seconds behind the mainstream. So this is hopefully fine for you all. There's the tether. Cure forced to Wraith walk out a little bit there. A little bit of a slow reaction, but he is good. He is going to escape. Looking at somebody's talent at level 1, standard quarterback for the Tychus. No surprises there. We already mentioned the Wind Serpent for Lily, giving herself that little bit of extra damage, that free blinding wind. Great for long period fights, especially against heroes like Tychus and Sylvanas. This is why we're seeing Sylvanas react, going with the Might of the Banshee Queen. Normally we see a lot of Sylvanas these days going for the Overwhelming Affliction, but that's so reliant on auto-attack builds against a Lily, they've instead gone for the Might of the Banshee Queen, where you will lose the attack speed boost that you get from it, but you still get the 5% spell power, stacking up to 5 times, which is 25% spell power. Always nice. Lily is still leading on that spell power, that Surging Winds, getting a lot of that. And that is going to be Sylvanas, a Mercenary Queen. Leoric, full wave clear builds here. Lutano is in a little bit of trouble. Masquerade going to come in, try and buy some time. Onto the conveyor belt is Pickkid, and that gives Lutano the freedom to sneak out via the conveyor belt speed boost. Great escape. Nicely done. Spite for the Mephisto. It looks like they've turned down the clean feed quality again, which is unfortunate for us. But if it's more stable, I hope it's still a good enough quality for you guys to enjoy. But they've definitely turned it down a little bit more again. I guess we'll just have to manage with what we have. Alright, so yeah, the Surging Winds coming in for Lily, really trying to maximize damage. As much as I would love to see a full damage-focused Lily, we really could use that cleanse against a Diablo composition. So I expect we will see the Lily cleanse. It's also one of the best cleanses in the game. So seeing that little bit of flexibility would be nice. Good tether. Haunting Wave gets Hosty out of danger. It's a Ruby-style Decade build with the damage bonus here as unaverted. It's able to avoid full damage output from Masquerade and even chases him down a bit. So far, WildHeart seemingly staying ahead here. No kills for either team, but damage output definitely seems to be leaning in their favor. Lily with Surging Winds, that 10% spell power. If you hit at least 2 heroes, it's all good damage. So yeah, let's go on level 7 is going to be the talent. No surprise there. As much as Lightning Serpent does add a lot of damage, that cleanse is way too good to pass up. Oh, I missed something earlier. Hang on, Lutano's in a little bit of danger. So he's going to be picked off first blood going over to WildHeart Esports. But I completely missed earlier that Hogger is starting a different build. We talked about this yesterday. We are seeing the Journeyman cooking. When Hogger hits an enemy hero with his dynamite, he restores 6% of his max health and permanently increases max health by 10. So he already has 70 bonus max health up to a maximum, bouncy, up to a maximum of 750. So we hit 75 heroes with those bombs. He can stack up very healthily. Not going for the full build here, where he could go for the dense blasting powder, choosing to stay away from that. Everything else, pretty normal. Even going for that garbage fire, that cooldown reduction, still helps with wave clear, still helps with positioning. It's still decent. You just lose a little bit of the armor. Very interesting. A more reactive style, as the objective is won by WildHeart Esports. Simplicity doing their usual style of kind of ignoring the objective at this early stage. and instead just focusing on clearing it as fast as possible. Both the supports, by the way, are the ones in this Protector, as everyone else heads up to top lane, so they don't have any sustain outside of the minion globes. The percentage damage from Cure eats away at the Protector, and the Protector will fall here. Shield a little early here, gonna miss the opportunity on that. So they are forced to back away. Retreat from Hosty still eats a lot of damage from Unaverted. The overpower was attempted, not enough from Masquerade. It's a Fire Stomp build for Masquerade, going for a little bit more objective sustain. Tychus, double grenades, melting point, no sustain there. Jug of 1,000 cups, we never get Water Dragon. It's a sad time. Stukov, yet to pick. I think this will probably be a swipe. Yes, it is. Flaming Swipe going to be coming in. Durance of Hate and the Warden's Cage. Durance and Warden, a fantastic combo that really has done a good job. And yes, Savannah's Finish can't hit an unstoppable here unit like Protector. It is in fact true, which is why we see the Leoric's percentage damage. Going to be seeing them push in. Masquerade getting tethered, pulled in. Not enough for the engage. There's that Entomb, going to help out Diablo quite a lot. Apocalypse, there's that Wailing Arrow, going to try and snipe Lily on here. The Commandeer Odin, no surprise there, and stay a while and listen. We never see Lornado sad times. 2 memes even for us. Funds. Overpowered by Masquerade, but they're still chasing it. Tether is dropped. Hosty escapes with the Haunting Wave. Stay a while from inside the Warden's Cage. Massive shove to interrupt it, but that's still a very low pick hit, but they turn it around. Legacy picked off by Unaverted. Masquerade is focused down now, completely tethered, lurking arm, and he will be taken out. Hogger with a perfect bounce. That was unbelievable. Picks up the Tychus kill, and Sylvanas barely escapes there. What a play. Oh no, what happened? All right, hang on, we fixed it. We fixed it, we got it. Okay, I worked out what happened there, my apologies. We fixed it. Nobody panic. Masquerade. Charging Unaverted underneath the fort, fixes it. Unaverted focus down and take it out. There's the Entomb. Masquerade will have charge in just a couple seconds looking for Buds, but the Entomb still expires in time. There's the cleanse from Funds. Not enough to save Buds. Pick Kid also on his way out. And it looks like this push from WildHeart, where they gained a huge advantage. They overstay, and Simplicity punish them really hard. There's the overpower. Funds' movement speed bonus, not enough. And he is taken out. That is a huge kill with those black arrows active. This will be the first fort of the game, despite a Protector and a 1 fight going over to the side of Simplicity as they take a really solid lead. Very nicely done there, Simplicity, taking a big head start. They've managed to gain a huge advantage despite losing a lot of the objective. Let's see that chase again. You see they move in for Funds. The last escape, he gets his speed boost, but the slow is already applied. And he is picked off too quickly. This great cube from the Deckard Cain to set that up. Now we're in fact going to see the invade from WildHeart, though. Going to contest it. Vault of the Waters to dodge the damage. Hornipole pushing in, but Pitkin is absolutely deleted. Here comes Hogger. Bounce in for freedom. Bounce in for damage. Completely separating Hosty into the backline, though, to take out Buds. Buds takes him out, though. Slaps him with the strong hand. As the turret has not been picked up by either team. WildHeart Zergling gets it, though. We do see Buds taken out on the backline. Fun's going to try and buy some time, but the Odin chasing too far. It's a 3 for 3. Both teams just into each other's backlines. Masquerade coming in with Lutano. Unaverted dodging him, but he's going to return to that point where Masquerade sits ready. The turret has been dropped. Here comes Hogger to try and buy some time. Cure respawns, making it a 3 versus 2. But Zergling gets the disengage. The turret was stolen and immediately dropped. These two teams going at it left and right with absolute brawling potential. Neither one of these teams giving an inch to the other, pushing as hard as they can in this game number 1. Every time a step forward is taken, a step is taken back towards them. A riposte of strategy and skill from both these teams. So we see the waves being cleaned out by both sides, trying to keep their XP high. Zergling staying safe, making the most of that loot horde to bounce in to clear the wave and then bounce out for freedom. He is unstoppable. Massive potions for Deckard. dropping quite a few in one spot there to quickly top up LeOric. Objective available in the top lane. Weakened for Simplicity. Gone for WildHeart. So no fountain available. Big drain hope onto Zergling, forcing him to flee. He's got his team's turret, so he needs to be careful. Does miss his dynamite. Diablo deciding between rotating to his team or soaking that mid-soak. He decides on the mid-soak. A full Fire Stomp build for Diablo, in fact. The debilitating flames and the spell power bonus coming in here. Great damage reduction could be huge against this Mephisto, a hero who's really hard to deal with anyway. If they can get that damage reduction onto him, it will be huge. LeOric going with a crushing hope, really trying to remove the few high hit point members on the side of WildHeart Esports and drain through that Vault of the Wardens. One of the Forsaken coming in for Sylvanas. They're being very careful of that wall. They know Masquerade can get them there. It's a hard rotation. Instead, look for Holsty, forcing him to burn that Haunting Wave out. Safety in numbers for Deckard Cain, by the way, keeping himself safe because he is being targeted pretty hard. Who can blame him? Going with that little bit of extra 10 armor and that basic ability cooldown reduction. Here comes a very deep invade by Cure, but he's taken out. He quickly drops that biotic emitter, which he was holding. Durance from over the wall does not land. Hits no one. Warden's Cage does not land either. And it's a full disengage out of the members of Simplicity, even dropping members of WildHeart's low. Losing LeOric, but the engage is a failure. WildHeart's unable to achieve much more than that. They do a little bit of damage to that mid lane that they are going to be forced back. Great hustle, great disengage by Simplicity, avoiding that Warden's Cage. The objective sitting pretty even, 34 to 36. LeOric has already respawned. Returning him to battle. It's a pummel on the Hogger, by the way. In that damage reduction and percentage damage for the Mephisto. Let's see where they go from this. Right now, Funz and Masquerade chilling together. Bud's nearby, just in case. He knows Funz has a better chance of escaping than he does. Lurking on to clear the lane. 70% to 34. They zone Lutano away. Zergling, Horde pulls in. There's the Odin. Immediately drops the Unstoppable, but they delay the tether. But it's not enough. Lutano retreats out, not stunned by Zergling, so no percentage damage is applied. Everyone is here for both teams, trying to go for the engage. No Warden's Cage. There's the Great Entomb. Wailing Arrow dropped very hard onto Funz, who's taken out. Lily is down at the first in this fight. Bud's not averted. Very zone tether looking for Legacy, but he's able to follow forwards. Gets that extra protection from that safety in numbers, and Legacy survives. That armor saving his life, and that's a 4-0 in favor of Simplicity. They chase in Pit Kid, unable to pick him up. Pit Kid's able to get away. Very convincing fight there for Simplicity. And let's see it again as they take this camp. Going in hard. The Durance did land, but Hogger able to get through it with the no control, with the Hog Wild Legacy using his armor to take through, and of course following the tether. If the tether had landed, Legacy might have dropped down there, but they were able to pick up the kills exactly when they are needed. Nicely done. Well played, Simplicity, as they move in to try and take the keep. Making their way forward, they will take this down. The Protector has already been grabbed, meaning in theory they could try and go for core, but it would be a 5 versus 5. They do have Queen Mercenaries with them, but it looks like they choose to go for a much safer strategy of going in for more forts and keeps. Not going to go for the core as of yet. They could hit level 20 by grabbing this and the towers, which could put them in a position to try and take a fight. If they can get another team wipe, they could easily set themselves up. However, by not committing too hard, they are giving WildHeart Esports a chance to set themselves up for a counter-engage. If they can soak to level 20. Perfect gems, because it's a Ruby Emerald build, a little bit rarer here for Deckard, but very high in terms of damage. This is Mage Deckard build. We're going to be seeing the big red button. Sylv yet to pick. Hellgate and Buried Alive for Diablo and LeOric respectively. They siege in, pushing as hard as they can. Hosty staying a little bit further back, playing safe. Going for the Deafening Blast. Extra damage on Sylvanas. No safety required here. As they move forward, going for the dive onto the backline with the Hellgate, but not enough. Everyone disengages. Unaverted coming in, doing a lot of damage to that Protector, and down goes the keep. Protector dropping low. Now they have to disengage. They need to show that this is worth. This is pre-20 still. You can see Cure was looking for it. If he could get that buried alive, he could set his team up for a re-engage to win with that level 20 advantage. WildHeart still clearing out. Simplicity throwing their weight around, because they are able to do so. Yeah, the Deafening Blast, 50% more damage, but the silence for twice as long is the big play here. That's something people forget about this. People are just like, oh, it's extra damage. But honestly, the silencing for twice as long against a Lili or a Maiev, for example, is kind of beast. And of course, against a Mephisto, there is some value to this. So I am actually kind of a fan of this, but it does mean that Hosty really has to hit these abilities very, very well. Masquerade, tethered, gonna just turn around and fight. There's the Durance with the unspeakable horror, silencing him out of the fight. The Warden's Cage holds him inside, but the big red button is zoning them away. Jugs healing everyone up, and we're going to see this attempt to disengage. But from the side, LeOric comes in. He still has Buried Alive in Tomb. Chases forward, tries to find the angle, looks for Mephisto. They cleanse him so that he can go back in and get some damage. They clear out LeOric. Hosty is low as Pitkid delays Lutano to finish him off on the side. Lutano is low. Here comes Hogger for the kill. And WildHeart pick up the counter engage. We have got to see that again. This is the value of Cleanse right here. Keep an eye on the positioning of Funds. He's staying a little bit further back. He's the one with Cleanse. He is the one who has the disengage ability. LeOric, Wraith walks forward, gets the Entomb. Immediate Cleanse, allowing the Mimic to come out from Unaverted to dive out of the Entomb. And with the reduced duration of Buried Alive, he gets out. And that fight is turned hard. The no control from Hogger, able to chase down Tychus. That was mental, mate, as we will see Cure coming back soon, though, to make this a 4 versus 5. The objective still not spawned yet. That's how long they've been fighting for. Hosty looking at his camp, not going to try and take it yet. He realizes they might be pushed in mid. They clear out mid lane. Thank you very much, Traburston, I assume is how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry for being wrong if I am. Unaverted, Hellgate out of the Entomb. Big mistake there from Masquerade and Cure. The miscommunication, Durance with unending hatred. Everyone is silenced. It's gonna be a wipe. 3 members taken out. The souls have been removed. Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry for abusing the replays, but that was such a minor mistake. Let's see it again. They clear out the waves. We move in Cure. He lands the perfect Entomb as the overpower comes out, giving the escape option just in time for Unaverted to allow him to escape once again. The Durance goes off. Unaverted saved twice in Tombs. Buried Alive used twice on Unaverted, and he's got out. The wave shall be cleaned out. The keep shall go down. Diablo is grabbing the objective. Buds takes a lot of damage from the keep. Are they going for core? Yes, they are. 7 seconds. Oh, it's going to be tight. This is risky. 4 seconds for Sylvanas. 1 for Decade Kane. The Rocket Punch hits the core. Masquerade comes back, moving in. They still have APOC and Buried Alive. The retreat has to come out. Rocket Punch is used. There comes the Hog Wild. Warden's Cage to buy time. It's Hogger inside the Buried Alive, but he's able to get out thanks to the fading swipe of Buds. Zergling being dropped low, though. More controlled chaos from Buds to try and get everyone out. He's doing a fantastic job, but there's the stun of the wall. Great cleanse from Funds. Unaverted, buying time, and they ride together and they survive together. WildHearts will be able to disengage. They move out, they move back, staying alive. The Lili cleanses. That cooldown reduction on cleanse coming in clutch here for the members of WildHeart Esports. Masquerade moves back onto the point. They hold the position. Pitkid steps up, forces Masquerade to back off. They even push up a little bit further. Create some intimidation. LeOric is pushing in the core right now. Zergling going to come back to deal with that. The catapult's the only real threat. You can deal with the catapult. You don't actually have to worry about that much else. LeOric can't actually end the game alone. Sylvanas, Tychus, and Diablo, though, They are in position. They are in position to try and set up a backdoor, which looks like what they may be trying. Unaverted, and Funds already back. Stukov in position. They've got in. Port started. Stukov porting back. He was staggering his pulse the entire time. What endurance! Absolutely destroyed the Diablo. Not enough souls. Tether for Cure. And he's going to be taken out by Zergling. Simplicity making their way down to bot lane. They want to see if they can maybe steal the Protector away, but they are very outnumbered. Tychus is grabbing a siege camp. They get a little bit of a trigger, but Unaverted is already here. Dives forward. They don't have the Durance back up, though. Not enough for an engage. They bought a bit of time, though. Leoric sees Hogger up in top lane. Doesn't land the Drain Hope, so will not be returning any quicker. Tychus finishes top Mercenary. Gives him a little bit of counter pressure. Kid spots the turret, sees no one is taking it. There is nothing for Simplicity to do. They're outnumbered at every turn. They cannot contest. Leoric still just trying to respawn as quick as possible. Counter pressure top is their best chance of surviving at this point. If Kyo can keep top pushed, he can maybe force some ports, force a retreat out of the members of WildHeart Esports as WildHeart make their way up to mid. This is only game number 1, but the underdog story of Simplicity is starting to look a little shakier than usual. Cure going to be backing away. Protector marching all the way to top lane, the long way. That is where the keep is dead. They are moving as 5. It is commitment to push the core. Maybe not kill it, but definitely to push it. Look at the positioning of Mephisto. Observer, a little higher, please. Thank you. Staying as far away from the Protector as possible in case Diablo decided for an engage. Cure takes a lot of damage. Zergling goes quite deep. Stay on and listen, but no respect the elderly. That's a great entomb. This time, Zergling is taken out. They get the wombo. There comes the Jug of 1,000 Cups with the Durance, but only onto Leoric, who is tanking through this. There's the Warden's Cage, pulling them in. The Protector's been abandoned as we see a huge kill with Hogger still down. We see everyone else retreating. They don't have enough damage this time. With no Hogger, it wasn't enough for WildHearts. They will retreat. There's the pullback. That's a bad position for Buds to be in. Cleanse is dropped. Buds is on the rock. Unaverted and Funds coming in from behind to buy some time. Good route with the virulent reaction, but Funds taken out by the grenade of Lutano. The full retreat from the members of WildHeart Esports. Not looking so good here. They're trying to just get out of here. They gotta survive because now there's a 5-man pushing in for their cause. 17 seconds until Hogger. 50 until Lily. And it looks like Simplicity may have found the comeback. Buds topping up his mana. They've got mid-keep. That is their saving grace right now. If they can pull people into that, you can see the positioning from Simplicity trying to avoid that scenario. Tether coming in to buy some time. Hogger comes back, drops the Horn Pulse to force Hosty back in. Pit Kick getting reset after reset. Lutano is dropping low. Pit Kick gets the kill. And we see Hosty sprinting for his life with that Will of the Forsaken. Masquerade taken out. Pit Kid dives in, gets the double kill. No control. Legacy's in trouble. They chase him down. The dynamite comes out. Cure is running in with the catapults. He's committing the last-ditch effort. He can't do it, though, but he's forced to retreat. He's bought time. Cure has bought time for his team to retreat, to get back respawned, and to steal a support camp, apparently. Get themselves a healing camp. Cure will die, but it is but Leoric. It is okay. Great strategy by Cure. His life is expendable as Leoric. He gets a delay, forces the retreat out of the members of WildHeart Esports. Great defense by WildHeart, though. Able to pick those up. Great dive by Pitkid. That vault to the waters make him so hard to pin down. Legacy going to port back to base. Top himself back up. This series is freaking ridiculous. WildHearts take out mid-fort. This is only the second fort they've taken. But they're staying alive. Cure respawns. It is 5 versus 5 again. Masquerade still doesn't have 100 souls. Give this man some souls. It's going to stay sustained. Everyone retreating from both teams. Simplicity have the much easier engage. They're going to be the ones to play aggressive. Making their way towards bot lane. This isn't really a backdoor. This is a hunt for Hogger here. They're really just trying to find Hogger and pick him off with the Entomb. That's the strat. Don't find him, so instead they clear out the waves, keep the pressure on. WildHeart's playing very safe, very smart. Delaying this game a little bit, making sure that everything is okay. Pit Kid. Sustaining for the moment, clearing out top, buying a little bit of time. Might have not the best wave clear, but not the worst either. Leo has tanked more damage than Diablo. Cool. Why not?
Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
Mid objective. Both these teams down a fort there, but still the keep. But either team could just walk around and go straight for core. WildHeart's being more careful. They have to deal with Cure, because Cure is being a jerk. Trying to keep the map pressure on. Can they get him? He Wraith walks, trying to play evasively. Looks like Cure will be going down again. Gets a lot of damage onto Pit Kid on the way, though. That's going to be a little bit of percentage over to Simplicity. Not a lot. They just buy some time. They're just keeping the distraction going. Leoric. He live. He push. He die. He live again. Turret's being taken by the side of WildHeart Esports, giving themselves a little bit of map freedom. Some extra map pressure. The game slowing down to a crawl as it becomes a game of dancing between top lane and the objective. Cure already nearly back to his respawn. He could even create some pressure bot lane, which looks like he's just going to stay on the point, though. Keep WildHeart busy. Try and out-macro them. WildHeart have 2 lanes being pressured. Funds. Thinking about stepping up. Another aggressive position for Simplicity. Looking for Hogger. Seeing if he oversteps. The Dynamite being used for vision. Tether. Wraithwalk. He was thinking about the returning with the Entomb to try and counter Pit Kid. Decides against it. Turret now being picked up for Simplicity. 67 to 58%. This game is so close. Turret grabbed by Simplicity. They have a turret and a healing camp. 3 turrets for WildHearts. Mercenary Queen, though, for Simplicity. Zergling spins back onto the point. Doesn't want to get caught by Masquerade. Bot lane, Catapult's pushing in. Tether onto Masquerade for the quick kill. Objective taken by WildHearts, but they ignore it for the fight. Warden's Cage on Cure and Masquerade, no control. Big damage numbers coming out from Zergling. Able to pick up the double kill. And with the objective taken, Tychus runs for the core. Lutano realizes he has 1 chance. Turret and Odin have been dropped. Sylve's on the way. Port's coming out, but they're being interrupted to make it back. Zergling and Pit Kid. Can they defend? Catapult's on the way. Hosty going to clear out the minuet to try and buy some time. They missed the stun. Lutano is through the shield. He's rushing down the core. Pit Kid tethers him back in. Hosty ignores Zergling and rushes for the core. Burns and unaverted and forced to run back. Down goes Hosty. Down goes the Odin. And Lily solo runs for the enemy core. But Diablo and Legacy are trying to rush the base as well. Stay a while. Dodged by Pit Kid. Masquerade with the shield still down. He's slowed. Hit by the core rocket punch. And that might be it. With the core saving the day this time, we will see Lily solo end the game with the Protector to hold WildHeart in the lead. Game number 1 is going to go over to WildHeart Esports in what is one of the most insane game number 1s I have ever seen. WildHeart, chill, bruh. Chill, Lily. As game number 1 goes over to WildHeart Esports. Wow. What an opening game in this series. That was unbelievable. Both those teams hitting back and forth over and over again. Neither one giving up. Always trying to find a way to outsmart the other. There's a good chance we might see this matchup as a rematch of the finals, but WildHeart Esports take game number 1. That Mephisto is starting to become a problem, but Maiev topping the damage numbers with over 100,000 damage. Pick Kid, everyone on that team did a good job. The only person who didn't actually show off too much was Buds, because 90% of his job was healing. But even then, the flailing swipe saved them so many times. Everyone had a key moment there. Lily's cleanses, Mephisto, Funz's cleanses, the unaverted durances. Everyone did something. Everyone showed off. What a game. What a game, number one. Absolutely insane. I'm so hyped to be bringing you this series right now, because that was fantastic. If you are enjoying my casting of it, maybe consider dropping a sub. We're aiming for 100 subs before the end of the month. We are at 77, 23 subs to go before we hit that coveted number. Plus whatever we lose during the month as subs expire. But thank you for choosing Tetcher as your caster for today. I know you have a lot of options when it comes to casting. I appreciate you spending it with me. But that was just game number one of this best of 5 series. WildHearts take the lead. I'm going to quickly have a peek, see if we can get some map updates as we go. WildHearts really playing that nicely. A lot of pressure was put onto just dealing with that. Hogger was not with the team for a while. They spent a lot of time dealing with Cure, who was really 5-head play by keeping that split push going, trying to keep people busy, keep them away from the objective. Very smart, very intelligent player. We all knew this already, and he really was able to turn that into something absolutely fantastic. Well done, good start. But in the end, WildHearts were able to come out victorious. And again, the Lily second support. What more do you need to say? Those cleanses were brilliant. Absolutely marvelous. Huge fan of that. That was superb from start to finish. Dropping those cleanses on unaverted every single time to keep him safe. They were great. Yes, the lady got taken out a couple times, but it doesn't matter. She was still doing the same job as everyone else. Still keeping the healing. She had a little bit of extra damage with her builds. They played that fantastically. All right. I was reminded by somebody yesterday that apparently predictions are a thing on Twitch now. So I should be setting those up instead of polls. So let me try and work out how to do those. Thank you very much for the follow, Blackscorp. Oh, hey, Blackscorp. Hang on. So we quickly have WildHeart Esports have taken us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Okay, we're good. So yeah, Blackscorp Best Corp. Is that the Blackscorp from Heroes Past? The ghost of Heroes Past! Ah, spooky. Yes, please put predictions here. I can't bet anymore on Heroes Heart. 0 points left. Predictions, aka betting channel points. Yes, but I don't know how to do it yet. So hang on, let me figure out how to do it. We have a draft, so I will jump into that while I try and work out how to do this. Pretty sure it's in my dashboard, so... Start a prediction. There we go. That's what we want. Start a prediction. What will viewers predict? Okay, so we need... Who will win game 2? I worked it out. Who will win game 2? Who will win game 2? Will it be Simplicity? Or will it be WildHeart Esports? Submission period. We'll have a 5-minute submission period. That should get us through the draft. So you should get everything done there. So, you got 5 minutes to predict who will win game 2, Simplicity or WildHeart Esports. I or a mod will need to confirm the outcome within 24 hours. Cool, I can do that. Alrighty, prediction has started. This will be cool. Worked it out, figured it out, did it. I'm a champion. I'm a genius. Diva banned out this time on Tomb of the Spider Queen. A little bit easier for her to gain control there. Deal with that bottom lane quite nicely. How long is the predictions? 5 minutes. Usually starts after the draft. Fair enough. I put it in as 5 minutes so that you can get it during the draft. You should be able to cover most of the draft with a 5-minute predictions. So that way people who can vote early, who want to vote early, can vote early, and those who don't want to vote early can probably wait it out. So, Johanna will be removed. I hope that covers everything. Uther, first picked, it was not... exactly, Gromlin. Oh my god, all the heroes that just got let through. Uther given to Simplicity, picked over Medivh, which is immediately picked by Funds. Oh man. Oh, we just got crazy up in here. WildHearts, their Medivh win rate. 75%, 3-1. The Uther win rate for the side of Simplicity is 66%, a 4-2. Chromie and Leoric picked up for them. What's their Medivh win rate? Only 50. So this is actually, the Uther has a higher win rate than their Medivh. So they technically went in for it. They're going to try and commit. Wow, there's a pretty interesting difference between the predictions. I like it. Alrighty, ban phase. Ana going to be taken out. Ana removed from play. The Ana Chromie Uther would be very tough to deal with. Nano boosted Chromie, it kinda dunks. Alright, I'll run the poll for longer next time, because it looks like that wasn't long enough. Sorry, I apologize about that. Oh, no, wait, no, it's still got 2 minutes left. Okay, we're good. It just isn't showing up on my thing. Alright, Maev. Taking away the main tank of WildHearts last time. So yeah, I said it for 5 minutes, but it was it only appears on my screen for a little bit. Orphea. And Yorel. Zergling's Yorel coming in here. WildHeart, no main tank yet, but that's really not Pit Kid's style. Giving themselves a potentially very heavy wombo. Leyline into those devouring jaws. And Simplicity to finish off the draft for their side. Zeratul and Brightwing. We're kind of just seeing a greatest hits for Simplicity in this game. The Leoric main, the Uther main tank once again coming in for Masquerade. Second time we have seen that. And now, WildHeart Esports. Their final pick here. Do they go for a main tank? Or do they pick another damage dealer and just let Yorel do it? They go for their standard style. They go for Sonya. Main tank. Very consistent composition for them throughout all of yesterday. Returning to their classics today. Let's see if this is smart or a big mistake. It's going to be an interesting game. The Sonya composition actually was a little bit less consistent than some of the others that we have seen from WildHearts throughout the few days. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, you got 40 seconds left to vote in the predictions, so if you haven't got yourself in, then get them in now. All right. Let's see how we do here. We're heading into game number 2. 1-0 currently in favor of WildHeart Esports. Simplicity. This is the first time they have been down in the entirety of the playoffs. They have never been down in series. Let's see if they can bring it back. See how they fight from behind as we are heading into game number 2 on the left. 6th seed in the group coming in and fighting their way all the way up to guaranteed 3rd position. It is Simplicity. Let's see what they can do with this. The no tank composition. Tano on that Leoric main tank Uther once again. WildHeart Esports on the other side. The Medivh was given to them. Both these teams getting big priority picks. Main tank main tank Sonya here. Very deadly, very mobile composition. Going to be very hard to pin down. Sonya with a Medivh sounds terrifying. It's going to be full reset. Might have Nerazim build for Cure on this Zeratul. No surprise there. Legacy. Hovering a little bit further back for now. Chromie gets a couple hits to start off with. Going with a pretty standard build. Neither team going too aggressive, just poking back and forth for now. There is a stun onto Zergling, but very little commitment for the follow-up, at least yet. Neither of these teams has a lot of sustained damage outside of Sonya and a kind of Orphea. So this is very much going to be a poke, a whittled down build until we can get bursts. Both these teams have such insane burst protection with the Uther Divine Shield potential, Brightwing burst heals, Medivh heals stuck off by a kill switch, Yrel eventually with that Ardent Defender. I don't think we're going to see kills for a very long time in this game. I might be wrong though, as Pitkid focused down. Caster Curse is real! Flee! Goes back in! Lutano is the one to die though! Pitkid with the bait. Zergling even dives a little bit further. Hosty drops down to very low health, but will survive. Well done indeed, Funds. Makes his way in. A little bit of a poke, gaining those stacks. Up to 12 stacks already on that Arcane Rift. AKA what we all still call the Master's Touch because it's a better name. Yrel going in for what will be a damage reduction build. The Light of Karabor to be mixed in with the Aldor Peacekeeper later on. Or as we call on this channel, the Kaldor Peacekeeper. Cure backing away. Takes a couple hits. Nothing too aggressive either side so far. Shadowhunter up to 6 stacks. Silver Touch for the Uther up to 14 stacks. It's a pretty normal set of talents for pretty much everyone. The Karabor Peacekeeper is the most out of the ordinary. Holy shock. This is looking all pretty standard so far. Raven Familiar. Not too surprising for that Medivh. Full swing build for Leoric keeps him more sustained in big area of effect team fights where he's hitting multiple people and helps him with his wave clear. The Orphea, this is the hero who we're seeing the most variation on in terms of talents, and of course Cure not going for a cleave build. There's a little bit of damage to Zergling on the way out. Obviously starting off with Ancestral Strength, which is normal, but going for the Chaotic Assault at level 4 instead. Big damage done to Zergling, but tanked through with the Force of Will by Funds, who will back away. So yeah, Unaverted going for the Chaotic Assault. We have seen quite a bit of backbiter these days from a lot of Orphea players to give themselves that quick disengage sustain. But in this case, that extra 75% bonus damage from Chaotic Assault is where we are seeing them lean. I'm just sad we don't see Alagrissimo because that is my personal favorite. Lutano backs away. Playing safe. Doesn't want to get himself picked off yet. And again, not too hyper-aggressive. Both these teams just rotating, buying time. Thank you for the sub, Tramerston. Very appreciated. That should, in theory, bring us up to 78 subs once it updates. Thank you very much. And oh! How's the tasty road medicine, motherfucker?
I've been watching your contents on YouTube for about 5 years now. Finally managed to catch an actual stream. Good job. Appreciate you casting these, as I'm not a fan of most of CCL staff.
I mean, thank you very, very much. That is incredibly generous. Masquerade Flea, thank you so much indeed. I'm glad you enjoyed the content because I'm not stopping anytime soon, but the reason I can keep doing it is due to wonderful people like you. Thank you so, so much for that donation, and thank you for the sub. Pog indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Pog indeed. Alrighty, the battle continues. Lutano backs away. Seriously, thank you so much. That's such a generous donation. Oh my god. Alright, I'm thrown off a bit. Hang on. Focus, 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 Chris. Focus, Tetcher. Alrighty. Zergling's going to clean out the waves. Cure doing a pretty solid job as well. Not into towers though. Pitkid hunting, looking for the spear. Cure's too mobile though. He has Wormhole now. There's the portal. You see the attempts by Funds to maybe go back in. Cure trying to hunt him down. Good burst damage. Really trying to punish Funds as best that he can. Good job by Cure. Really knowing who to hunt. But yeah, the Force DK. Or the Force K. Seriously, thank you so much. Focus. Focus, Burb. Alrighty. We're seeing the insatiable. That cooldown reduction for Orphea. 2-second jump. Really high damage output for those melee styles. Very good combo with Backbiter, but we're not going to see that in this case. Lutano healed up by Brightwing as they take out Sonya. Again, the issue with Sonya main tank, she is actually a little bit squishy. Cure survives, even turns back round, goes back in for Zergling. Zeratul is so incredibly sticky and hard to deal with as Zergling escapes over the wall. Big damage coming in from the Dragon Breath. Unaverted dives for freedom. A lot of damage. Good sustain by Funds, staying alive. Zergling just staying back. Playing safe. Portal. Uh-oh. You don't want to be there. Unaverted, no. Funds, no. Funds comes through and they escape via the portal. Time Trap comes in. Funds still being chased down. He's not stacked. Funds is dead. Thanks to the Divine Shielded Zeratul. And the stacks are reset. With the stacks removed, the top lane being pushed in. Simplicity take a solid lead, 2 kills to 1. Level 10 now available for them as well. We of course saw that in Might and Nerazim and Tomb. We already saw Divine Shield being used at Blink Heal for Simplicity. On the other side, the Devouring Jaws. Zergling, Hardened Defender, may have to use it. Nope, he's okay. Wrath of the Berserker, Leyline Seal. Stukov yet to pick. Finally going to go with that flailing swipe as Chromie. Of course, it's a level 11 talent, as they do have a solid lead, and enough for a second turn-in. The chain turn-in's possible from Simplicity right now. Lutano turning in his 16. A turn-in easily available for WildHeart Esports as well, though, but they've got to find the place and the opportunity to actually turn in, especially if they can get it before Simplicity hits level 13 with their lead. Alrighty. Turn-in does come in for Simplicity. WildHeart unable to contest for now. 1 stack on Medivh. Feels bad, man. Zergling coming back down to rejoin with the rest of his team to hold the line for the moment. Funds. Gonna mount back up, play it safe. Mid fort has been pinged. This is where we're going to see the defense group up. Leoric, Cure, doing what he did all of last game as well. So it's Lutano on that Leoric this time. There's a good D-shield from Uther, preventing those Devouring Jaws from coming out. And Averted Heroic is burned, as is Wrath on a Berserker. Pitkin going to try and keep that stacked up, but needs to be careful of Lutano. No Entomb going to be burned so far. Force of Will was used, and mid will be protected. Mid fort will be sustained. Circling, cleaning out for the moment. Bot fort going to be taken down. Only 1 fort remaining for WildHeart Esports. Simplicity piling on the pressure right now, holding themselves in a pretty good position. Sorry about that sound. It's me opening a window. It's bloody hot in here. You can probably hear the aircon. It's still too hot. Unaverted, stunned out. Portals away. Playing it safe. Bot lane will be cleared out, and the final fort goes down. No more defense available, only onto tier 2 keeps now. Well met coming in for Uther. But for another Garden of Ancient Kings, a usually consistent build for WildHeart. Simplicity adopting that style this time. The Yorick Life Leech build, going to be going for a Mithril Mace style because those talents are never not picked together. Timeout for Chromie, no surprise there. Enduring Will, cooldown reduction for the Medivh, keeping himself sustained. Only 4 stacks on this Medivh now. Pit Kid, wrap it around. There's the Jaws. This time they get Uther. Leyline on the rest. They turn their attention onto Cure, who is very deep, but he blinks away, keeping himself safe, so they're forced to re-angle. The turn-in was interrupted, though. Uther body is dead. No more ghost healing. They instead turn for Lutano and for bot turn-in, but the slowing sands really making this turn-in opportunity annoying. Brightwing comes in, keeps Lutano healed up. And they're both able to disengage. In the meantime, Cure continuing to pile on the pressure in the backline. Bud's finally going to try and turn his gems in and will succeed. First turn in WildHearts have been able to achieve. They will likely have enough for a second. Cure being just chased all the way down by Zergling. You can see that damage reduction beginning to come in from Zergling with that Aldor Peacekeeper. Portal dropped. Zergling gets away from the slowing sands. 5 stacks. Onto that Medivh. Abyssal Symbiosis coming in for the Orphea here. Getting that little bit of extra shielding and that maximum chaos to combo with the level 4 Chaotic Assault. Very solid damage output when you're in melee range. They go for Lutano here. Masquerade. Quick stun, keeps everyone sustained. The well-met damage reduction. Cure continues to be an absolute jerk, going in deep for funds. Rest of the team protecting funds, but it's not stopping Cure. He's playing very aggressively here. Fun's still a little low, not looking so hot. Bud's trying to jump in and heal up. There's the entomb. Leyline splits the team very heavily. Masquerade behind. There's the Jaws. They look for him, but the time trap keeps Legacy alive. Blink heals out to Hosty. Hosty with a great save. Cure on the backline, still trying to cause chaos, but Funds will still survive. And the Web Weavers, they have been cleared during the distraction. Simplicity going for a mixed strategy of letting Chromie clear and letting Cure keep everyone else so busy that they can't push. They're going to go back in for another attempt on top. Bot 4 was taken out. They have easily enough for another turn and a bit. They go for Chromie. Can they find the angle? The minions are in the way of the spears. There's no stun. Pickett doesn't get out, actually. He gets himself in a little bit of trouble, so they turn out to Masquerade instead to focus him down. And that's going to be the kill, but now it's Ghost Uther healing in this setup. That's a big polymorph onto Funds. Force of Will. Portals, but he's not standing next to it. Gets out Cure in position. Looking for it. They've taken out Sonya. They've taken out Medivh. And this is a great re-engage. What an entomb by Lutano. They sneak out, but they've already got off here. They've definitely got Buds thanks to the extra sustain that he gets. Sorry, the extra slow he gets from that reactor ballista pause. But Zergling, 55 gems are dropped to the floor. Only 30 gems available. They just lost over 70 gems in one team fight. Simplicity, they have enough for a turn in. They're going to get the boss. And Simplicity just absolutely smacked them. Lutano turns in his 15. He gets the lane pressure. Masquerade returns and cleans out the bottom wave to get extra experience here. WildHeart start on their bruiser camp. Boss is now pushing in. Turn in happening. They still need 8 gems. 6 gems, I can count. And those are held by Legacy. Everyone's going to be able to respawn for the side of WildHeart Esports. They will be back for this defense. 0 stacks on Medivh once again. Cure again showing just how strong he is. Force of Will, very effective here. May have to use Arda Defender, does have to do so. Leyline buys time. Zergling stays alive. The crushing Jaws does not land. The disengage comes out from Simplicity as they re-engage, looking for another turnaround play. Cure gets some good damage out. The boss focused down. Web Weavers finally appearing in this top lane, a little bit slower to arrive as we do see the focus onto Lutano to try and finish him off. The top does not land as they chase it in. Unaverted, unable to get the angle. Zergling a little bit too far to find. Shielded Zeratul into the backline, but he can't find his kill. They focus on the keep instead. Boss still alive, and that's going to be the first keep of the game going over to Simplicity as they keep pushing in. The boss is low though. They will finally be forced to retreat. They got what they needed. They've set themselves up for the late game. Very nicely done there by Simplicity. A solid lead they have here. Master Warp Blade for Zeratul. Huge damage. Pickett, Force of Willed. Leyline. They don't have Devouring Jaws though. It would be so strong here. So they just commit to damage. But everyone's so mobile. Legacy and Cure both dance away. Lutano focus down. They will get Lutano. A kill is acquired, but in the meantime, Cure making the most of that mobility. Second keep is acquired. The Web Weavers push in. They just traded a Leoric kill. The hero who is back the fastest for a keep. That is permanent damage for temporary damage. Not so sure about that decision for WildHearts here. They're going to play aggressive, try and make the most of their numbers advantage, though, while they have it. Unfortunately, Orphea is stuck in bot lane. They have enough for a turn in again, but Masquerade is fully stacked on Silver Touch, meaning he has enough cooldowns to interrupt Zergling on every single one of these turn-ins until he runs out of mana. Which he will not do. There's Leyline, and Zergling gets turned in. Nicely done. Leyline is burnt to buy them the time there. Pickett does not land the stun. Cure dancing away from the fight. Full retreat coming out. The Yorick not in position. Could have tried to run in for the Entomb. They get Medivh again. Cure is on fire. Lutano finds the Entomb. Flaming swipe buys time, but Cure's already in. Huge damage coming out. They do get Cure. That's a great amount of damage from Unaverted, but Buds is low. Pitkin is in a terrible position. He's going to have to try to escape through the minion wave as we see the chase coming in from Lutano. Drain Hope is on the lad. He's taking a lot of damage here. Buds to heal him up. Pitkin will survive. That's another one fight for WildHeart this time. Never mind, the fight's even. And now it's won by Simplicity. Pitkin taken out. Lutano is low. Zergling gets the Ardent Defender. Unaverted is doing everything he can to try and pick up some damage. They will survive, and they did get rid of enough gems to prevent another turn-in. WildHeart's backing away, staying alive. Unaverted, he's very scary alone here. It's level 20 is available. There's the Entomb, buried alive and dead. Stay too close next to a level 20 team. Just a mistake, honestly. Great setup there by Lutano. Picks up the kill, stacks the dev. Time trap to prevent Medivh from escaping. Do some damage. Great force of will to prevent that from going in. We have Piercing Sands coming in, making it even harder for funds. It's the redemption. Zeratul, Cure going with his usual talent on level 20. That's a great polymorph. Zergling's in trouble. Leyline to buy some time. Force of will. Zergling, focus down. The holy shock even came in there. Zergling gets away, but the keep is still being pressured. Cure makes his way back in. He, of course, we already mentioned is going for that Shadow Strike, giving himself a little bit of extra shielding. Allowing him to dive in and out a little bit more. This is very affected by Simplicity. They still don't have enough for another turn-in, though. They are still delayed. They got the last keep. The lead is very heavily held by Simplicity, but it's not over yet. Level 20 is on the way. Win conditions. Medivh cheats. Sonya, either damage reduction or maybe going for a giant stride. Maybe some extra spears. In theory, and I would actually maybe recommend this, in theory, Yrel could actually upgrade her heroic so that her team gets healing. It's an unusual talent, the Word of Glory. But no. We stick with Seraphim. Getting the extra cleanse, a little bit more important here. Medivh cheats, of course. They move in. Masquerade was perfectly stealthed there. They just ran straight past him. Diving in for Lutano, trying to finish him off. Entomb could be dropped here. The time trap is good. It interrupted the ley line, but Medivh cheats. Catches just Uther. Remember, he can revive. Divine Shield and dropped anyway, though. He's going to try and attack. In the meantime, Cure pressuring the core, trying to force the retreat out. He's doing a good job. Zergling forced to back away. Here comes Lutano. There's the Entomb. They try to creep out, and they do so unaverted through the portal. Gets away. Chase is coming in, though, but Cure is still on the core. Unaverted is not healthy, and there is a big chase coming in for him here. The Holy Shock is good. If Unaverted gets close to Cure, he will die. Cure will just be able to burst him down, but Cure, he's just dancing in and out, keeping him delayed. He just took a solid 38% of the core by himself. Lana, thank you very much for the sub. It didn't show up on the alert for some reason, but thank you so much for the sub. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing good. 62% left on the core. Controlled Chaos. The Ignore Pain coming in for WildHearts. Okay, and the sub doesn't show up because it was a resub. You have to share your resub. Lutano focused down. There's a big group of enemies here. He could try and turn around for an Entomb here. But WildHearts, this is their Webweaver. They're committing basically to this and nothing else. In the meantime, Cure does what he just keeps doing and macros. WildHearts, they're kind of throwing everything they have at this push here. If they can find some kills, they can go for boss. Cure is pushing up bot lane. His team is so sustainy. He doesn't really need to worry. Hand of Freedom burned by Zergling there. Gets himself out of danger. Boss is available. They're hovering around it. It looks like WildHearts have opted for the boss trap. 50 gems available for 2 Simplicity. They need 15 to go. Lutano going to be the one to scout the boss. Cure, seeing enough people here, he heads straight back to mid. keep the pressure going. But that's a big kill. 15 gems burned. Cure, with his shield on level 20, actually, he is actually able to end the game here. He can solo the core, unaverted, running back. He can't afford to have his port interrupted. Buds and Pitkid, though, they continue fighting the boss. They are going for this. They're finding a retreat to take the fight here. Legacy teleports in. This is our Simplicity. We're able to win in one of their previous series in the gauntlet stage of the playoffs. Cure trying to buy some time. The claw jaws do not land. Cure focused down, cleansed by Legacy, who's trying to keep him alive. There's the invisibility heal to keep him going. The core still focused. Cure using the most of those shields that he gets from his level 20. Keeps being healed by Legacy. He just won't stop. They need more damage. Fun's chasing him in. The core damage is good. And they were forced back. In the meantime, though, Pitkid is all alone. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Cure will finally go down, but Pitkid is completely isolated and will be taken out. The boss was not killed, and it's now 25% left on the core, and Cure is just going to keep doing this. WildHearts have to do something, and they have to do it now. They need to find some time. They're clearing out. The boss is going to be attempted again. Not enough gems for a turn-in. Simplicity, keeping the pressure on. There's that share sub. That's a big kill.
My stupid Twitch keeps stopping working whenever I try to full screen it.
I'm sorry to hear about that, buddy, but thank you very much for the sub. It is very appreciated. That's a big kill, taking out Yrel, staggering the death. Sonya is still down on a being forced to retreat. That is going to be 2 Bruiser Caps pushing in for the core. The boss has been abandoned. 40 seconds left until Yrel. Leyline. Medivh cheats, but he doesn't hit Lutano. He's got a portal. He portals right into Masquerade. There's the stun. Medivh is dead. The deaths are staggered, missing the Leyline. And that looks like it might be GG. The score's about to be evened up. Pitkid is back. He's got to pull off a miracle here. Lutano makes his way in, but we already know that Cure can end this game by himself. There's the controlled chaos to buy time. Pitkid being focused down. Lutano draining him for everything he is worth. There's the entombment. It is dodged, but the focus is too good. That's a team wipe, and game number 2 will go over to Simplicity. Simplicity playing beautifully there. Cure showing exactly why you just keep batting out his Zeratul. The Uther winning out over the Medivh. Both these teams getting heroes that just feel really strong in the current meta and getting punished for it. Choose a prediction. Choose outcome. So hang on. 92% of you, by the way, 92% of the bits voted for Simplicity. Sorry, not the bits, the channel points. 92% of you voted for Simplicity, so 92% of you were right. Wow. That's a pretty big difference. Choose outcome. Simplicity. Complete prediction. Simplicity is in fact the correct outcome. Prediction complete. Wow. What a performance by Simplicity. Cure is literally just ending games by himself. InfoFox. Oh my god. InfoFox, how many points did you get? 13,000. Wow. That'll do it. That will do it. Good job. That's a lot of points. Very nicely done indeed. Alrighty. The 13 is what on the short message. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Makes sense. Alrighty. So, game number 2 goes over to Simplicity, evening up the score. This does mean that the mainstream will be taking a break so that we can talk about some statistics, because we do not need as much of a break. Once again, before we start talking about players and numbers and statistics too much, let's talk about what we are playing for. We are currently in the winners finals, you can see on this bracket. The winner will move on to the grand finals with a 1-game advantage. The loser will move down to the losers finals. They will have one more chance to fight for redemption and make their way back to the finals so they can go for revenge, which, with how this series has been going, would be awesome. Because, I mean, look at this series. It's brilliant. Or, if they lose, they will be eliminated in 3rd place, which guarantees either of these teams 3rd place. They will have to play against the winner. The loser of this match will play against the winner of our next series today, Crowd Control versus Oxygen Esports. A very fun series. Oxygen, the most dominant team at the start of the series, where Chili Mountain did not win maps. Oxygen at the start of the season did not lose maps. And yes, the losers finals and grand finals will be both next week. And outside of some catastrophe or CCL just deciding to shut down the clean feed to drive all the traffic to their main stream, then I expect that I will be bringing you that action as well. In the meantime, I hope you're all enjoying the stream today. We are aiming for 100 subs in the month of January. I have emotes currently being made by the wonderful Alarak of the Storm, the HOTS High Lord herself. She is brilliant and wonderful and is creating some absolutely superb stuff. So I hope you're having a good time there. And I'm just checking a thing. Okay, sorry, just reading a message. So yeah, she's making me some beautiful emotes. She currently is the creator of several of my actual channel emotes. Like the burbs and the false stats. She's the creator of those. So subs will get more value. We're currently on 79 subs, meaning that we only need 21 subs to jump to our goal, which is 100% possible before the end of January. I hope if anyone wants to support, that they will consider doing so. Thank you very much, Salticoon. That's a great name. It is such a shame, Tetcher. You are so underappreciated. Thank you for sticking with it. Thank you very much. Very appreciated. Feels good. Do you like the style? Hell yeah. It feels good. She is absolutely brilliant. Some of her comics are superb. Check her out. HOTS High Lord on Twitter. It's brilliant. Also, hang on, I need to do a thing quickly. Let's see if I can find this. I think I put it in Jinxie's server. In general? Yes, it is. Ah! Noise! Hang on. I'm with you in a moment. Okay. Save. Oh, it doesn't let me save. Oh, there we go. Save image as. I'll see who that follower was in a second. Sorry. I'm being unorganized. Oh, and a sub. Hang on. I'm not looking. Hang on.
Tetcher cast is best CCL cast baby.
Thank you very much, KC. Very appreciated. But yeah, if you like HOTS High Lord, she also made one of my absolute favorite gifs of all time, which is this. Superb. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, in CN. Thank you very much for that follow. What does the CN stand for? Is it perhaps China or is it perhaps Canada? I do not know. Explain. What is NCN? Is it maybe in Canvas? I don't know. I can't think of anything. What is the CN? I'm curious. And KC, thank you so much for that sub. 6 months at tier 1. Very appreciated indeed. But yeah, this is the style of the artistic style that we have working for us right now. It's brilliant. In Canvas. Nailed it. Did it. I'm a genius. Alrighty, let's get rid of this. Alrighty, so while the mainstream deals with their tea break, let's talk about some statistics between the two teams here. So these statistics are obviously not 100% up to date because they do not have today's games in them, but they are good. Also, KC, big thank you to that sub again. Only 21 subs needed for our 100 sub goal before January. So we still have next week's games to go as well, but I believe we can do it because you are all so incredibly kind and generous to me. And again, a big thank you earlier on to the fantastic donation from the Forced K, or the Forced DK. It is incredibly appreciated. So, stats. We've led up to them for long enough to probably buy the entire break back. But in terms of bans, we've been seeing pretty consistently here. Simplicity, the most times heroes are banned against them include Medivh, no surprise there. Uther, who's really jumping up, 14 times banned against them. Chromie 11 times, and Zeratul.
Less than 3.
Less than 3 to you as well. This and the Korean version. Thank you so much for the £10 donation. Very appreciated indeed. Big ol' less than 3s in chat. Feels decent. Alrighty, thank you so much. That is very appreciated indeed. Alrighty, so yes, the Zeratul. Every time I try to go statistics, you guys are just too kind to me. So yes, Zeratul is banned 9 times now. I expect to see that number to continue to rise. At this point, I think the perfect ban phase against Simplicity kind of has to be Uther Zeratul. And then if you can get Chromie and Cool, if you're forced to ban Medivh, you kind of have to. If that's the case, you let through Zeratul, because they seem to prefer picking it in the later stages. So it's really hard. Any of those 4 makes sense. They are the most... Oh, is it this way round? Which way round is it? Is it that way? Or is it that way? I thought it was this way. Yes, it's a little heart, right? I thought it was that way round. You're correct. Hey, nice. That emote is a little small, so I could not tell. But aside of WildHeart, let's have a look at their most consistent bans. That Medivh was effective. It just didn't work out in their favor. Chromie, Uther, Brightwing. The Uther, very sensible. That's a good ban against them. The Chromie, we haven't actually get to see them play it so much in this case. What's the score? It just got here. It is 1-1 between these two teams, with WildHeart Esports winning game number 1 and Simplicity dropping a triple Zeratul backdoor to win game number 2. It was funny. And wow, I just don't get to talk about... You guys are so kind. We just burnt through the entire break talking about stats. The game's begun. Let's freaking go already. Let's get into game number 3 of this best of 5 series. Towers of Doom shall be the map, and it was chosen by Simplicity. Meaning WildHeart Esports have opted for first pick and first ban. So far, the team with first pick has won every single game. There goes Chromie as an early ban. Uther and Zeratul still left up. WildHeart potentially trying to force Simplicity to ban the Uther here. Both these teams love their Uther comps. Hey, that's well deserved. So that's going to force the Medivh ban. So it means WildHeart could first pick the Uther. This is very smart. Oh, Simplicity pulling the same trick as WildHeart did last game, forcing first pick on either one of these. And they get the other. Now, WildHeart, do you prioritize the Medivh again? Or do you pick up the Uther this time? Oh, that's neither! That's neither of those options! What? You're supposed to do it. Uther and Medivh. The ultimate FU build. You can't kill anyone as long as you only attack us in 10 seconds increments. Simplicity. What do we see? What's their priority now? The Vikings are here. Zeratul would have been insane here. First pick Vikings. Usually an oxygen strategy. Stolen by WildHeart this time. Simplicity go for neither of those options. They can't really afford to Uther here. Uther would minimize their kind of composition. They would have to run Uther as that main tank. It would really minimize the amount of value they can get on wave clear. So the Uther is stolen by WildHeart. They get Uther and Cassia. Them having a Vikings would be very smart for them to just play a little bit further back, play a little bit safer. They can now have the Vikings split soak. Maybe ask again after the game. Do I do podcasts? I don't do any at the moment. I've done a couple in the past. I ran quite a few, if that's what you mean. But I don't do any at the moment because they take a lot of time. I do a D&D show. That's kind of a podcast. Heroes Give Chase. Check it out on YouTube and Twitch. Next game's tomorrow, in fact. Tune on in, 7 PM UK time. Abatha is banned away. Simplicity not wanting to deal with the WildHeart, not wanting to deal with the oxygen strategy. WildHeart Esports taking away Mephisto. Removing that. That's usually a WildHeart pick, but with the amount of Vikings on the board, will be pretty effective to do. Hard to find stuff about heroes which I can listen to. I'm afraid I do not do a heroes theme podcast. I don't know if there are any at the moment. There used to be. You can always put these streams on and put them on audio only. I'm afraid is the best idea I have there. And obviously it's all on YouTube, so you can do it there as well. Sonya and Falstad giving themselves that global potential. I pronounce a lot of things American, Soltakun, I'm afraid. I've been indoctrinated. Oh, there we go. WildHeart Esports adopting a bit more of a crowd control style composition here with the Zul main tank and Zarya Uther. Maximum sustain. There's so much sustain on this team now. Simplicity, how do you deal with this? Double support to maybe deal with that, but there's a shield in the way. They go with Lunara, okay. Trying to burn through that Uther. Solo healer Uther, and Lunara can actually get quite good value on that. The damage outlasts the shields a lot of the time on Zarya. It gives her a lot of energy, but it also gives them a lot of consistent damage. Very interesting. This is an interesting draft. The Uther can actually really struggle to keep up with the actual healing output. The damage output of Lunara. This is going to be interesting. I'm confused. I don't know who comes out ahead here. Sorry for hitting my own microphone. Because this game's already a little bit chaotic. Overall, let's have a look at some of those win rate percentages. With the Uther, of course, we already mentioned 75% win rate, 6-2 for the side of WildHeart Esports, so they're pretty comfortable taking that. The Vikings, this is actually their first time picking. They've never shown Vikings before. They've been hiding this away. They are fit 1-1 on Zul. Let's see if they can change that. Let's go. We are heading in. A move sold as a Heroes podcast called Into the Nexus. Oh, that exists. Nice. On the left, it is Simplicity. On the right, it is WildHeart Esports. Saltacoon, my accent is Chelmsford, Essex, with two very well-spoken parents. So I drift in between posh and well-spoken BBC voice and you having a go, innit, mate? I'll punch you, mate, innit? I won't, actually. I'm too kind. Let's go. Let's jump in. And humble. Very. Let's go. We're in game number 3 of this best of 5 series. Slam build. Coming in on the Sonya side. The Bribe Stad. Very quick wave clear, maximizing the use of that Zul. Vikings splitting off in a 2-1. Olaf Baylog. Is there a donation goal for Chavcast Tetcher? No, but I will potentially do it in the future. Maybe a replay cast, maybe a donation goal. I don't know. I'll set one up in the future. I mean, oh, Eric goes down. Tell you what, if we hit the 100 subs before January, I will do a replay cast. I will do a replay cast in Chav voice, unaverted. I'll be able to avoid the damage for Masquerade. Zarya, by the way, going for a stacking build, starting off with that level 1 maximum charge. Extra energy means more damage. Really effective on a full team fight. Instead of having to stand full in melee range of the Diablo, the idea here is to basically go for the extra for the maximum charge to increase your energy output. Give yourself a little bit of extra damage, and Regen Globes keeping your energy higher. Great for objectives. And it allows you to combo in for the pinpoint accuracy later on to give you some great siege potential without having to go a little more aggro like Feel the Heat would force you to do, or having to stack as the level 1 Demolitions Expert would force you to do. It's a little bit of a more long-term build, but it's actually a lot easier to keep high damage output with this build. Funds clearing up. Cure starting the Merc camp. Vikings going to contest. We see Baylog swapping to mid lane right now, so we can clear the waves against Falstad a little bit quicker. Sappers making their way in. The entire front wall taken out. Baylog. Eric is down. That's going to allow Sonya to finish off top lane. Eric going for Eric the Swift. We're seeing a more brawly support-focused Uther. This is the go-to main support Uther comp we've been seeing, at least from WildHearts recently, going with the Wave of Light. And they sometimes go for the Pursuit of Justice if they need movement speed, but in this case, the Holy Fire. Giving themselves a little bit more wave clear, a little bit more brawly teamfight potential if he gets stuck in, which he is effectively filling in a second tank role, although Zul, of course, is the main tank with the full tank build. Speed shield, speed barrier coming in for the Zarya here for extra wave clear. Sorry, for extra mobility, allowing Uther and the Zul to engage a lot quicker. Much easier to land. Funds playing around the point. Unaverted, pushing forward. Pit Kid channeling, but Lutano and Cure both going to come and stop that double channel attempt from happening. Jailers comes in. Quick cleanse, though, as they teleport up. But have they abandoned bot lane for this? Right hand's already captured. Uther is capturing bot as well. This is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of WildHeart. But Simplicity pick up first blood for it. Is this a worthwhile trade? We'll see as the game goes on. They're trying to prevent themselves falling too far behind in experience, at least at this stage. They just toxin for the Lunara, wants extra wave clear. Sonya, the battle rage, helping her clear mercenaries even quicker. Great for sappers. Full auto attack build on Diablo. They look for funds, but quick stun. Nicely done by Buds, able to disengage. Spin to win for the Vikings. A little bit of extra damage there. Uther, hand of protection this time. They do not go with their usual Guardian of Ancient Kings. And there, as predicted, is that pinpoint accuracy for Zarya. Funds trying to do the damage. Masquerade tackles his way out, tries to focus in. The camp is helping the damage output of WildHearts here, but they're not in the best position. They, of course, are down a person due to Vikings, as in fact Zergling is struggling here. Cure being zoned away. Both teams disengage. Camp is cleared by Simplicity, keeping themselves safe and sustained. Not bad at all. Splintered Spear for Lunara. Maximize that damage output. Punish the Uther. It's very hard to heal with Uther, which is, of course, again, another reason why we're seeing him go for that Wave of Light build. Cooldown reduction on his healing is the big output here of his AoE healing to help deal with Lunara. Very smart to do here. And that little bit of extra armor duration. 0.5 seconds, which is good, which isn't amazing, but it's a big deal when you consider how much damage that poison can do in the late game. Very smart indeed. Double channel available all in the top lane. Lutano going to get rooted. Brightwing comes in, sustains them out. And a quick polymorph onto Pit Kid to prevent any huge extra damage. Camp will be cleaned up. Eric going to channel. And we're just going to see a simple 1-for-1 trade. Nothing too surprising for either team at this stage. Shots just traded back and forth. A little bit slow for Simplicity, but Simplicity, they are a little bit behind in terms of core health. WildHearts holding on to a small lead here. You can see a lot more focus put on bot lane for WildHearts, whereas Simplicity, they are really trying to deal with these Vikings. Level 10, hit a little bit earlier for Simplicity, which against the Vikings team is really impressive. Lutano coming in with Gust, pushes them all back in as Masquerade steps forward looking for his angle. He's still in the Apocalypse. The Apocalypse, sorry, already been used. There's a great Divine Shield and an Expulsion Zone onto Pit Kid, allowing Unaverted a chance to escape. He's still going to be taken out. Down goes the Cassia and the turnaround onto Pit Kid to take him out as well. He's trying to tank through, and he does! The tankiness of the Zul with his extra healing from his Spectral Swing as they chase in. The Grim Scythe build coming in. Dividends, Hosty barely alive, still trying to help out his team. All the Vikings have come in, and Pit Kid is focused down and finished off. Viking 1 dead. Viking 2 will fall. And that is a... Ooh, hang on. Viking 2. Viking 2. Zergling. Run. Run, Balog. Balog lives. Okay. Lutano chases him down, but won't be enough for a kill. Very solid fight there, back and forth between the two teams. Simplicity take yet another one fight. Unaverted already respawning in that. And you can see the issue here. Uther's healing struggling to keep up in the long run. It protects against burst, but that's not what Lunara does. Hosty making it very difficult for anyone to come back. We've got a leap for Sonya, allowing them to dive into that backline, really try and punish him that way, and really punishing Uther for not going for that Garden of Ancient Kings. But that cleanse so important here. They gotta keep Zul autoing. That Grim Harvest for the Zul, keeping him alive. Sorry, the Rapid Harvest is the Harvest Vitality, giving him that extra sustain that way. Single altar in the bottom lane, interrupted once by Funds. Uther finishing Wave of Light. That will help them with the sustain. Interrupt 2 by Funds. The value of this Zarya build. Zergling bringing Olaf here, trying to cause a distraction. Vikings, again, still just trying to soak out, but Falstad's pushed in top lane. Got quite a lot of damage there. There's the charge. Turnaround onto Cure, trying to finish him off. Poison Nova, barely catching anyone. Only hits Masquerade, in fact. Good disengage. And Simplicity leap into the backline. Quick cleanse onto Zul so he can turn around. Spectral swing. APOC. Expulsion zone splitting the team in two, but that's a great choke point. The Unaverted and Buds are caught in, and Unaverted will be taken out. Buds holds onto the Divine Shield. May have to use it. He will survive, but they were very split. Unable to get that onto Unaverted. That will be a one fight for Simplicity. Taking a talent lead, taking the shots, and they will even up the score. Abolish Magic even coming in for the Lunara, giving themselves a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of extra cleanse of their own. Avoid the root, avoid the stuns, and avoid the damage over time. That Abolish Magic removes damage over time abilities, including Poison Nova. In theory, if Pickett goes for the sustain talent for Poison Nova at level 20, he will actually be less viable with this talent because two of that healing outputs he could apply could be removed. One on Lunara and one on whoever Lunara targets. Very interesting to see. Zul will, for now, however, just continue down the same build. Rapid Harvest will be coming up next, unless we go for a main tank burst build with a amplified damage Bone Spear style. Nope, sticking with the Rapid Harvest. Not going for an immediate burst build. Nordic Attack Squad for the Vikings. Yep, it's a cleanse and dot remover. It's pretty decent. Very nice indeed, Falstad. Giant Killer, Zergling, Eric. Keep moving, Eric. Gotta keep healing. There's a polymorph. And that's potentially Unaverted dead again. Gonna drop a ball lightning. Gonna try and kill Legacy on the way out. Not enough. That's a big kill. Now Pickett caught out of position. Gonna try and turn him. Here comes Brightwing. Pickett's in serious trouble, but even the APOC is gonna be burned. Legacy is low, but Lutano really trying to focus it. That is a good expulsion zone. Body block onto Lutano, who's already used his barrel roll. Technically, it's an aileron roll. Here comes Legacy in to try and heal out Lutano and keep him alive, and he succeeds! What a play! Legacy is low. Here come the Vikings, though. Nordic Attack Squad is going to murder through Legacy. Can they get more? Olaf's dead. Percentage damage is removed. Olaf has died twice. He died, he died, he got revived, and then he died again. That is going to be a 3-for-1. Technically 4 if you count Olaf twice, but not really. It is a very one fight for Simplicity. Another set of shots coming in. Simplicity beginning to extend their lead. Great body blocks by Legacy. That was a lucky port for Baylog. Getting himself out of danger. The Legacy body block saving the day there. Lunara, interesting. Going with a little more burst damage. Some percentage, in fact, with the Starwood Spear. And you can see that extra attack range. So not going to go for the unfair advantage. Instead, just staying away. Sorry, no percentage damage. Percentage damage is on the different tier. A lot of damage being dealt to Unaverted again, who is having a rough game. So again, that extra attack range will keep Lunara a little bit safer. Cure starting to clear this out. It's on WildHeart's side of the map. They could try and contest this, but they are down a talent. They're going to choose to just defend. And probably you have to reclaim bot lane because it is already basically dead. Uther, by the way, Blessed Champion. Auto-attack healing coming in this time. Not going to go for well met. Instead, he's just going to try and keep his team alive. Spread that healing numbers out. Creeping their way forward. Martial law for this Cassia. I think I maybe would have preferred them to go for a Valkyrie against this composition, but they need the extra damage. That ball lightning does add that. Cleansing barrier for the Zarya, getting their own second cleanse on the board. Benediction for Uther, double stuns. Tunnel is open. Cure creeping in. The Vikings splitting. Masquerade making his way in. Eric channeling one side, Falstad the other. Legacy channeling below. Fun's going to try and interrupt us. They're going to try and contest top. They will interrupt one. Viking channel completes. 1-for-1 trade so far. That is 5 shots for 3. If WildHearts can get the left-hand side, they will get 6 shots out of this, which will technically be a 1 fight. Lutano forced to retreat. The Poison Nova already is dropped. Hosty finished off by Vikings. He is going to go down to the Poison. He's finished off here. Lunara, the only one to die in this. The sustain is good. Nodoski, thank you very much for the follow as funds. Begins to channel in, and WildHearts technically takes 6 shots to 5. They come out ahead there, and they even up the core shots. Nope, they don't. I can't do maths. They were about to take the lead in the core shots, as they'll take the boss as well. Lutano will not see it. He technically did not have Gust anyway. Boss is taken. Maths is hard. Never do maths on stream. WildHeart Esports creeping their way back to the lead. They're still almost over it. They are over a level behind, but they're still holding themselves in this. Camp being taken by Falstad. A couple of bribes were used there. Get that damage output. Funds was looking to see if he could steal it, if he could expulsion zone to Cap, but no, it will be denied. Instead, they're going to proxy that Camp. Try and remove it from play, prevent any kind of core damage. Legacy is porting the heck out. He does not want to... Actually, he's staying. He's just hiding in the bush. Here comes the rest of WildHearts. Clearing out the lane as best they can. Masquerade looking for something. A single camp. Down goes Baylog. Play again. Still available, though. Defense set up by Simplicity. 4 members make their way down to bot lane to defend this. Falstad doing the double soak. Cure taking the camp, and the siege continues. Level 20, half a level away from Simplicity. That's what they're delaying. Double cap available. WildHearts should really try and make something happen now before the level 20. There is a good cleanse. Had a protection coming in. The shield came out too, but that's a shorter cooldown. Circling. Olaf in a little bit of trouble. Sapper's still pushing bot lane. They were seeing if they could catch Lutano. Unable to do so. They have to make their way down now. 10 shots are available for Simplicity here. WildHearts. They're just going to clear out. They're not going to contest. They are bringing a Viking down. Are they going to try and sneak this? Hellgate, level 20 is available. Intensifying Toxin for Lunara. Good APOC for Interrupt. Falstad arrives down, and that's going to shut this down. Largely in charge did not activate, interestingly enough, there for Zergling. Tried to make the play, didn't work. Vikings all revived, bot fort taken out. So they will make it only 9 shots on the core instead of 10. Bring us down to 10 health. Vikings are all revived. 85 seconds until that can be used again, as they do not have that cooldown reduction on their heroic that you can go for. Falstad, epic mount. Wasn't picking his level 10, level 20 talent. Finally will pick it up. He really wants to deal global damage, really wants to keep the pressure on the map. Masquerade, if from invisibility comes in, catches Pit Kid. Leap doesn't do much, actually. There's the expulsion zone, Divine Shield. They turn on to Cure, but the team is a little split. WildHeart still not at 20. Try to retreat. That Thornwood Vine from Hosty doing a lot of work here. Forces the retreat. The Vikings all still here. Olaf healing up with his Muradin-like trait. Falstad split pushing. He will have Epic Mount back up super quickly. He'll be able to fly again soon. Level 20, though, just around the corner for WildHearts. The possibility to bring them back into this game. Sorry about the stutter. Charge from Masquerade. Looking for Vikings. Trying to remove them from play. Oh, that stutter. I hope it's not on my end. Oh, that's not great. That's not great. Hang on, I'm checking Task Manager. Okay, we're losing a lot of frames here. That's not good. There's a bit. We'll do what we can with what we got. Sorry about this, everybody. We see the fight coming in. Zergling charged onto. Olaf is cleansed out so they can keep those Nordic attack squad going. The Vikings, 2 Vikings down, leaving just Baylor. But if Baylor goes down, there's no one who can play again. Play again. Vikings are eliminated. Numbers advantage in favor of Simplicity. Please stop fighting so I can refresh the stream for a second. Okay. Looks like we have a quick respite. We're going to refresh quickly to try and fix this. Okay, that's better. We're good. We're good. Sorry about that, everybody. Vikings have been eliminated. No play again available. Pit Kid. Oh, it's still here. That's not good. Funds try to hold the line as best he can. Try to keep everyone far away. What is happening? Is this my side? I have no idea if this is my side or their side. I apologize, everybody. Okay, looks like we're stabilized at least a little bit. We'll just make sure we have this set as priority. I apologize for this, everybody. Looks like I'm not the only one. They're going to make their way back in. 5 health left for WildHeart. Boss spawning soon. Simplicity still on 18 health. Level 20s are available. The Vikings even deadlier now, going with that extra damage from the Fury of the Storm. 105 extra damage on each Viking. Mortal wounds for Zool. He realizes that he could be in trouble with that damage over time being removed sustained, so he goes for anti-sustain for his opponents. Falstad pushing in bot. No mercenaries with him, but he can fly in any time. Unaverted, causing pressure. Falstad can fly in at any time to rejoin his team. Bulwark of Light for Uther. Could get all the Vikings here. Boss, leashed. Let to reset. Ignore pain. They go in. Big stuns. There's the cleanse onto Cure, keeping him alive. Expulsion zone is burned. They just burn everything. Immediately, they commit to the boss. They gotta make something happen. Falstad flew in. Falstad's gonna try and take mid-fort. The boss is being taken. Masquerade's ready to come in. They have Bulwark. They can hold themselves on the point. Boss is let go. Simplicity realized it would be a very risky opportunity to move in, but now they're actually getting caught out of position. Down goes Cure. Divine Shield, Bulwark of Light, Viking army marches its way forward. Top goes down. Mid is dying. There's the Gust. Lutano's going to try and rush it to buy time. He goes down to the keep. They're going to try and take it, rush it down. That's the triple cap. 5 seconds and 5 shots on the core. They've got to claim something back. Legacy goes down. Masquerade's buying time. 1v3 versus the Vikings. But is being raced. They have to clear this and they have to stop Masquerade capping. 3 health left. 2 health left. They've got to take this. 1 shot coming in. 1 health left. They're alive. The Diablo is being held. WildHeart Esports holding this alive. Zergling is channeling 2 shots onto the core. That's all they have. Another 2 shots going to be coming in. They're going to race down bot to get themselves an extra shot, making this 3 shots. They will bring Simplicity down to 9 health on their core. But this is right now Simplicity 1 health away from winning the game. The clutch opportunity to try and get that triple cap to bring themselves into this. WildHeart Esports, they go for mercs. They're trying to get any value they can. The Vikings are pushing every single lane. Eric is pushing. Balog's currently AFK. There he goes. He's on the move. They've had to abandon bot. They know they have to recap this stuff or they are in a losing situation. They can't afford any more triple caps. They will die. WildHearts win the fight. But at what cost? Minion wave dies in top lane. Vikings not able to finish the job. Balog keeping the pressure on. Wisp completely slain. Fun's attack speed, clearing that out very quickly, but the camp is scouted. They're going to claim that, keep the pressure on bot lane, but the fort has already been taken back. The bell tower looking good. Falstad bribing a camp top lane. That's actually going to be 3 shots onto the potential core of WildHeart Esports. They have to make their way up and defend, and that's exactly what they do. They try and cut off the escape, and Falstad is forced to retreat. Zergling will steal this camp. They're proxying the minion wave, allowing themselves to dive their own bell tower or to let the proxied minion wave begin to clear that out with the help of Eric to try and finish the job. 9 health to 1. To take the lead in this series, a double altar phase. WildHeart have to win everything from here on out. There will be no second chances in this game at number 3. Every heroic is available. Every hero is available. The Vikings are nearby. The bell towers are evened up. Fountains are expected and respected. Eric going to try and go for the channel, meaning they won't have Nordic Attack Squad for a couple seconds. Eric going to channel, but Lutano with the flank going to cause grief. Eric taken out, meaning they don't have Nordic Attack Squad. Lutano flies away, buying time for his team. Hosty is single-handedly melting the health of every member of WildHearts. Buds begins to channel. Lutano continues to kill Vikings 1 by 1. He's gonna channel play again. They've gotta get to Lutano. He's channeling Zergling. He doesn't get it. GG. Lutano takes the game. And that's gonna be game number 3 going over to Simplicity. Falstad value. Splitting the value will take the victory. Frames away. That play again. Save. Replay. I can do that. I remembered. Lutano channels it in. The APOC catches it. And so close. It was literally frames away. It was that close. It was that close. Oh my god. So close between these two teams. Absolutely insane. Brilliant play there as we see Lutano dancing in and out, killing Vikings. The perfectly timed APOC, the second that play again happened. The perfectly timed APOC. But in this case, that is game number 3 going over to Simplicity. 1 game away from moving on to the grand finals. WildHeart Esports putting on quite the fight, fighting back from 1 health. They held on the left for so long, but the real fight was on the back line. Very nicely done. 1 game away for Simplicity to make their way into the grand final. WildHearts now have to win 2 games in a row to hold themselves together. These series have been incredible. Some of the best we have seen in CCL. These are 2 of the best, and I would not be surprised to maybe see a rematch of this when it comes to the grand final, unless Oxygen or Crowd Control can step up their game a little bit more. Thunder Chicken versus a bunch of Swedes. Who wins? That is superb. I love it. All right, well, while we're waiting for the next game to get set up, ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, I'm just going to very quickly refresh my stream again to try and avoid what happened last time. I'm going to assume everything's fine. I don't know what happened. We're going to assume everything is good. I hope you're all enjoying this. I hope you're all enjoying the game so far. I am having a lovely time. Excuse me. If you are enjoying the games, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation so that you can show your support for the stream. We're doing well. Hydrate. Cute little Peach. I'm Peachy. I can't hydrate on stream because I'm not allowed to drink what I'm drinking on camera. So tell you what, let's have a look at the table. There we go. This is what they're fighting for. Examine this in its intricacies while I drink. Correct, there are some CCL rules that prevent me from drinking what I'm drinking on camera. So, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to get ourselves kicked. Alright, wasn't that interesting? Brilliant. So, we're good. Yeah, CCL hates water. That's the reason. Get out of here, H2O, you suck. Yeah, it's definitely water that I'm drinking. Definitely. Yeah, some water. Yeah, there might be some vegetable or wheat products or grain products in it. But yeah, I'm not allowed to drink what I'm drinking, which is definitely water. We're good. Daddy Don't Disco, thank you very much for the raid. Here they come. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. So, we're getting ready. If you're enjoying the stream, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation via Bits or the Streamlab links below. New emotes are coming, so you'll get value for your subs. We're trying to hit 100 subs before the end of the month. So let's see if we can get to that. We're on 79 right now. 21 to go. See what we can do. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves. You can also help support if you're watching on YouTube by hitting the Streamlabs link below. Send your watch party onto you. Have a good one. Enjoy. Thank you, Daddy Don't Disco. I think you should disco because dancing is not something that I do in public, but it is something that I do in the shower. So you should disco. Excuse me. You can support on YouTube by hitting that Streamlab links in the description below, or you can hit that little join button where you can support me on YouTube for as little as 99 cents per month. Isn't that lovely? Lovely little bit of support, which you don't even have to notice. It's cheaper than getting yourself a coffee every month to support me on YouTube. Isn't that brilliant? Isn't that superb? So, we're going to be getting ready. And of course, if you want to support but don't have any expendable income or just don't want to, then there are several ways you can support. For starters, you can follow so that you see when I go live, and subscribe on that YouTube so that you can see exactly what is going on and where. You could also support me by talking about this stream, talking about it on Twitter when people talk about CCL. You could also talk about it on Reddit, make posts, take clips from these casts if you're enjoying them and post them on Reddit. All of this is free. It's a little bit of your time and it helps bring new people into the stream on Discords, on subs, on Discords, on Reddit, on Twitter. Anything you do will help bring more people in. That is 100% free, and it's the biggest thing you can do to help out being an active member of the community, and more importantly, a loud one. So if you like what I'm doing, that is the easiest way to support me. If you want, also, you can check out the CCL awards poll, where you can vote for your favorite players, your favorite memes, your favorite moments, and your favorite co-streamers. I made it into the top 4, which is all thanks to you guys. So if you vote for me, that would be very appreciated. If not, there's some great people in that shortlist of the top 4 co-streamers. I would be honored to lose to any of them. Let's do this. We are underway. Hogger is banned out as his first pick for WildHeart Esports. That Zeratul is removed once again. Sky Temple, another very large map. If you ask Tetcher for picks, you get more than you're bargained for. What is this? Oh, Dixie's promising my feet picks again. Still waiting for my total shoe picks. Don't own any, unfortunately. WildHeart coming in here. Very nice to see WildHeart coming in with the Vikings once again. Do Simplicity just go straight back to the false stat again? Uther and Medivh have once again been left completely available. WildHeart potentially considering that their comp would have worked if they didn't have to worry about the objective. If they just had a core push, they potentially could have won. So maybe just thinking, if we just do the same thing again, Simplicity thinking the exact same thing, if we just do the exact same thing again. It worked last time, so let's just bloody go. Have a go. Oh, crap, the prediction. Yeah, I'll set that up. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry. I forgot it last time, too. Alrighty, start a prediction. Who will win game 3? And we'll do a 5-minute one, so it will go a little bit into the game. So, start prediction. Got it. Prediction has begun. Vote for your favorites. Do your fair gambling. It doesn't it doesn't brace. It does no, you should wait. No, sorry, it does. It doesn't show you rejecting resubmissions, but it does discount resubmissions from the same IP address. So voting multiple times doesn't actually work. Just so you know. Abathur gonna be removed. Taken out of contention. Makes sense. Again, not wanting to deal with the oxygen style. We see the right wing also going to be taken out. That worked very helpful for Simplicity in that last game. A very fair ban, but that does leave Malthael, Ana potentially. They could go for that once again. Cassia and Stukov coming in this time. Very smart. A little bit of extra damage output there on that Cassia, stealing that away from WildHearts, which did not work so well last time. And this time they've gone for that more Sylvanas power. The Sylvanas, a little bit more mobile than the Cassia. Sonya once again, and Lily this time. They go for that Lily power, the double support with Vikings. That is risky, because the Vikings can eat Lily heals, which is not ideal. Risky play here. Isn't now the time for a shameless VPN plug? I am not sponsored by any VPNs to date, unfortunately. And Zool, this time picked up by Simplicity. Stealing it away last time by WildHearts, but they've gone for that Sonya this time. The Zool, so Sonya main pick, Uther main support, Lily damage once again. And that is Zool into Lily, a risky pick here. Perhaps we'll see a Q-based Zool build, but the wave clear that Zool offers means it's going to be able to keep up with Viking rotations very nicely. Alrighty. It could come down to this. If Simplicity win this next game, they will move on to the Grand Finals. If WildHeart wins, we are going to a game number 5. The predictions are up. They should be up, and they're still running. There's 2 minutes, 17 seconds left for predictions. If you can't see them, do a refresh, I guess. It ended, does it? It's still showing like it has 2 minutes left to go on mine. Yeah, it still shows 2 minutes left to go. I think it shows up for a while. If you refresh, it might be there. Either way, we're heading into the game. Let's get this going. On the left-hand side. Look at the points at the bottom. There you go. Thank you, Fox. On the left-hand side. 2-1 up in this best-of-5 series. It is Simplicity. 1 game away from the Grand Finals. Let's see if they can close this out. On the right, WildHeart Esports. They need to win 2 games in a row. Battle Uther has been chosen this time. The Hammer of the Lightbringer. Getting that extra stacks for that Hammer of Justice, that cooldown reduction. He wants to get stuck in, risky, into a attack speed slowing Zul, who has gone for Shade to avoid even more auto attacks. Largen in charge. Coming in for the Olaf double Vikings in the top lane once again. It's the final best of 7. I will check that in a moment. I don't know. Might of the Banshee Queen for Sylvanas. Another way to deal with that Shade. Funds. Only land the blind on 1 person this time. Unable to get too much value. Thunder Fury coming in for the Cassia. A little bit of extra damage output that way. Finals of our best of 7. Thank you, Fox. Only max of 6 games. Exactly. Yeah, I knew there was a winner's advantage, but I didn't know if it was 5 or 7. Cool to know. Feast on Fear by Diablo, going for a more auto-attack focused build, or a charge focused build. Can go either way with this build. Cool to see either one. Waves being ignored in the sake of mercenaries. Zul is bodying top lane, because no surprise there. Masquerade getting blinded out, Buds. Autoing minions. You can see them not clearing as many minions as they normally would be. Sylv not actually attacking the minion wave that much. Focusing on the mercenaries to allow Buds to hit the safer positioned minions to gain his stacks more comfortably without having to put himself at risk of Diablo danger. It's a nice little bit of teamwork. Very safe. Very close to the wall there. Very risky Masquerade. Looking for a flip. Good spear by Pitkid. That was dirty. Very nicely done. Vikings still just clearing up. Eric soaking from really far back. Not wanting to deal with Lutano. Again, we are seeing Simplicity running a 1-1-3. Oh, that Viking body just flew. That went a long way. Alrighty. Sure, why not? Eric the Swift once again. Real Battle Uther going for a Holy Fire once again. Damage output, extra wave clear assistance, and camp clear speed, technically. Full slam build, Sonya. Possession for Sylvanas, giving himself a little bit of extra push potential. Surging Winds, Lily, the exact same build as before. The spell power does, of course, buff the healing output of Lily. To begin working on the Bruiser. Both teams with Bruisers. 4-man for WildHeart's 3 for Simplicity, but they are bringing up Zul, so it's about to be a 4v4. Bruiser camp already taken out of Simplicity. WildHeart's keeping on the pressure, looking at Cure. A lot of damage being dealt by Sylvanas there. Once we hit level 7, Sylv's damage output is going to be very, very tough to deal with, and it's going to be very AoE focused. Oh, that Haunting Wave barely managed to get it down. Masquerade is very far back, but he does dance away. Funds taking a couple sneaky shots when this is happening. Vikings sneaking a few away as well. Sonya not looking so healthy, being forced to back all the way up to the fountain. Zergling will escape Cure and Lutano coming in. Right now, Simplicity holding both objectives, but here comes WildHearts once again. Blinds being applied consistently by Funds, but they're counterblind by a Hosty. A lot of counter damage done there. Good looking arm. Buds gets out of it though. Garnivated Kings coming in for the Uther, letting Lily take the cleanse again. Boomerang for Falstad. Wave clear. Extra stacks for the bribes. Rip Olaf. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Is he actually going to live? Nope. There we go. The zap for the kill. Oh, Pick gets stunned out by Masquerade. Whirlwind coming in. Good damage onto Hosty. Erratic Ballista Pulse. Catching the other side is unaverted. Dives it. Picks off Legacy. Masquerade turns on. Uses unaverted for the escape, but it's too late. With level 7 on the board, the Lost Soul Might of the Banshee Queen combo from unaverted does ridiculous damage output. Funds will now hold the point, stealing the final shots, and they will also proxy the fort, taking that down as well, using the Black Arrow, and that is going to be a big bit of value taken by WildHeart Esports, grabbing the first fort of the game. They took a little bit of damage onto mid, as mid was in fact won by Simplicity. Rip Eric, rip Baylog. Olaf is fine. It's another spin to win Vikings. Lutano pawning back. Pitkid does see it. Lands the spear. Poison spear. Lutano has barrel roll though. Gets out, but delays his port. Removes him from the map for a little bit longer unless he just taps Fountain now. That's going to allow the invade to come in. Will this force Falstad to cancel his port? No, he's still going to make it. And because they're chasing a kill instead, Falstad could actually make it back down if they choose to continue invading this. They do, but Pitkid able to pick it up solo. Very nicely done. Cure continuing just to clear the minion waves as fast as possible. He's got that extra harvest vitality now. A lot of damage being dealt. Cure, he's got the shade to try and buy time, but spin to win Vikings. Run him down. Vikings are no joke. Mind control coming in for Sylvanas this time, learning from their mistake last time. They don't go for the AoE damage. They bring in a pick tool to allow them that little bit of extra engage potential. Juggle 1,000 Cups, Divine Shield, massive sustain style build for WildHeart. Vikings helping out, allow them to get the soak and also this fort. Little bit of a misplay. They get stunned out, but they hold the position. They even cleanse that Sonya with the let's go from Lily to prevent any extra steals coming in, prevent Diablo from charging onto the point. Very nicely done. Boss and Siege Giants pushing in here. Uther is in fact going to push with this, while mid lane is getting rushed in. Black Arrows available. They're going to rush that down. Baylog dies. But bot's being sieged by the boss. Mid's being sieged by Sylv, Sonya, Uther, and Lily. That's going to be a double fort play. All three forts of Simplicity are down, and Unaverted comes in. He lands the mind control. Divine Shield is dropped. Can they turn this into something? They chase in. Spear misses from Pitkid. Flailing Swipe allows to disengage. A very greedy play. Proxy Bruiser. Counter fort being taken by Simplicity. Shots being taken on the bot lane. Top camp being stolen. Nice escape by Unaverted. They're all trying to distract and delay. Sonya realizes maybe not the best time to do this camp and is instead going to port out. Or is she? No, she's still going. I thought she was porting back. She's going to finish this. Unaverted sneaks around as well. The rest of the team is retreating. Zergling is proxying. Baylog is trying to clear out the Bruiser, but top fort will go down. Olaf dies. We see the huge focus onto Buzz. He'll be killed in the lurking arm unless the Jugs keep him alive. What a play. Lutano comes in from the side. Zul's ported back. This game is happening on every axis, every angle of the map. Funds escapes from the overpower Shadow Charge combo. Pitkid will be focused down and killed off by the lurking arm and the lightning rod. There's a great haunting wave. Baylog still clearing out this Bruiser camp. Stun from Buzz. Double gust. It's both the supporters. They continue to try and clean out each other, hitting them up. Ball lightning spreading between two members. Mind control buys them some time, and we will probably lose Buzz, but everyone else will get away. Eric did die in the bot lane. He was unable to finish the push in bot to finish off that keep. This game is happening everywhere. Olaf trapped in the corner, tanking as best he can. Barely gets out. The lack of minions forcing the retreat. Remorselessness for Sylvanas. Nordic attack squad for the Vikings. Surging wins. Sorry, Mass Vortex for the Lily. Getting the guaranteed hits to make sure they have a better chance of hitting priority targets. Ooh, the extra sives. Oh, Zergling, not this time. This time he's body blocked to death. They've gone for the Echoes of Death for Zul, allowing him to go into Decrepify for the slows, or Weaken to go for a massive combo of just trying to shut down as many heroes' damage as possible. Good Gust, and that is a very dead Lily. Great rooted to Gust combo, great angle by Lutano picking that up. Make their way in for the clear. The fort taking some damage, double siege camp pushing it in. Unaverted playing safe positioning-wise. So yeah, what build do we see Zul going for now? Decrepify or Weaken? Weaken will work with either of his builds because the Spectral Sire still spawns Skeletal Warriors. You'd still get the Weaken value. Decrepify increases the value by a lot though. Gives you a lot of slows here. Mind Control attempted. Not going to be utilized. Zergling dead. Loses Balog. Siege Giant still pushing bot lane. Play again! Interrupted! Olaf is down. All 3 Vikings taken out. That is a big deal for Simplicity, removing the Vikings from the board. That's going to force a reaction out of Pitkid to clear this up. Shots taken by Simplicity in mid and bot lane. Being rotated to as well. The front walls, the remaining front defense of WildHeart Esports is about to be removed. Mid has been abandoned. Falstad going to take over that in a little bit after he clears out top lane. Level 16. Half a level away for Simplicity, which is why Falstad is still split soaking. Eric is back in action up towards top lane. Balog coming down to the rest of the team. Falstad begins taking those shots. Bot keep looking a little shaky as WildHeart take that over. Bot keep will die, but it's going to be a lot of shots still taken by Simplicity. Masquerade. He's going greedy. He's a little bit far up. My control is here. Oh, Pitkid's a little bit far. There's the APOC. Beautiful cleanse. Funds tanking through. Great Divine Shield on Sonya. Buy them a lot of time, but very little reaction onto Funds, but Funds getting healed. A big gust to try and turn this. Great counter stun by the Uther. Funds keeping them alive. Masquerade barely survives. Down goes Funds. Pitkid, he's spinning as hard as he can. Picks up the kill, but he's getting focused down really hard. The reactive ballista balls slow him down. The silence onto Buds is shutting him down. He doesn't have another escape. Unaverted gets away. The Vikings stealing the final shots. They were not in that fight. That was a 5v4 as Bot pushes in. The Vikings are regrouping. They're maybe thinking about coming back in as there's a lot of low members. It's going to be 2 versus 4. Viking flag. They turn onto Masquerade, but it's Eric and Balog immediately deleted. The Vikings shut down. No value there. Bit of a misplacement there on those skeletal mages. Only 2 spawn because if you try to cast them into terrain, they will disappear. It's a Decrepify, by the way, for Zul, going very heavy on the slows. Boss going to be taken. Keep was still captured by WildHeart, but Simplicity are beginning to extend their lead here. End game condition is available for WildHeart, though. They just have to stay safe, stay delayed. They've got 2-for-1 healing on Lily. Full slam build. Butano grabbing a bruiser camp of their own. We're even seeing the overpower for Diablo. Double overpower here. Just trying to keep people CC'd as much as possible. You can't always get reliable shadow charges on this map. So going with the double overpower guarantees a stun, which means extra healing from that Feast on Fear. Boss being cleared up. Down goes the boss. Keep survives. Next objective, mid lane only. The mid lane of WildHeart did take a little bit of a battering earlier. You can already see a little bit of damage onto the mid lane of Simplicity as Zergling is focused down. They're going to heal him up. Lily, Mind Control onto Masquerade, but a great blind from Hosty to try and keep him alive. Good healing. Those jugs doing so much work. APOC was to disengage. Masquerade is so low. The Vikings are running it down. They get the kill at the cost of 2 out of the 3 Vikings. The souls of Diablo are reset. A very worth trade. They cleared out the wave. Staying safe. Siege camp in the bottom lane. Bruiser in the top. Vikings revived. They're going to make their way. We're going to send Balog up to top lane to clean that out, meaning only 2 Vikings available. No percentage damage here, but they still invade the point. With Masquerade on 0 souls is a little risky. Unaverted. Focus down. Gets cleansed down. Divine Shield onto Sonya, who goes deep. Vikings taken out immediately, though, as Pitkid is turned on immediately. They're just going to try and keep him CC down with Masquerade, but he's forced to retreat. No souls available. Unaverted is too low to continue this fight, but going to use the middle Guardian to try and get himself out with the knockback, but he's still rooted. Quick stun. Focus down and finished off in the lurking arm. Pitkid goes back in for a counter kill, but a CC at Masquerade is too much. Pitkid gonna be taken out here. Cure barely survives. Pitkid gets away. Buds falls. His ghost dies. The top is cleaned out by Balog. That is going to be a 1 for 0 in favor. A 1 and 2/3 for 0 in favor of Simplicity, barely surviving. We're again seeing the disadvantage of the Sonya. She does so much, but she's lacking that crowd control to stop Diablo from just landing his abilities over and over again and preventing Simplicity from just CCing Sonya to death. The Uther Divine Shield has been helping out quite a bit with that, but the damage output hasn't been enough. Maybe Ruthless might have been the play talent here. But we can only assume the No Escape has got her a lot of escapes so far. Ironically so. Simplicity rotating together, stacking Masquerade back up on Souls, getting him back to that big tonky devil that he needs to be. Level 20. Available for them. WildHeart just on the corner. Mortal Wounds again for Zul. Triple the chance of hitting people. 75% healing reduction against double support is a big deal here. Uther, Bulwark of Light. Goodbye, Balog. Mind control with the cooldown reduction. They focus it in. It'll be back off cooldown in just a second. That is Pitkin in serious trouble, but he's whirlwinding through. Divine Shield does not hit Sonya, but with the ignore page, he's tagging through for the moment. There's the cut to split the team in two, but the root lands. Play again, Vikings, from the side, but down goes Uther. He's in dead mode. He is Ghost Uther. He does not have revive. He retreats out. He went for the Bulwark of Light. Vikings turn around. They realize they may die. They have to get Zergling out of there on that Eric. He's the only one fast enough to get away with this. Olaf is focused down. Eric is on the run. He needs to survive, and he will. They've got to keep those Vikings alive to get that play again back soon. Another one fight for Simplicity. Double alter phase. It's in both the lanes where there's high health souls. There's high health for keep, sorry. They mind control Dibbles. He's the only one they can hit. He's the only one far enough forward. Infinite Ball Lightning does so much damage. A jug of 1,000,000 cups was attempted to try and keep people alive there. The Wind Tunnel for Falstad. Bruiser Cap going to be stolen away by Simplicity. A huge numbers advantage in their favor. There's going to be the extra push into the top lane. Shots already being taken in bot. That keep likely to fall. Mid keep so low for Simplicity. And that's the point here. If WildHeart can win a fight finally, they're in for a chance of winning this game. But they got to actually win the fight. That's the issue that's coming in. Simplicity, now that they've opened a keep, they are now also in a position where if they win fights, they can go to end the game. 2 keeps down, in fact. Double siege camps. Boss being hovered around, not attempted yet. WildHearts, everyone's back alive. Vikings clearing out. They went for that once again. Fury of the Storm. A little bit of extra DPS here. A little bit of extra burst. Boss attempted. Gust is up. This is so risky. Falstad is running top. He's coming back down. He's ready to gust in. Masquerade focused by the Vikings. They're going to try and take out the Vikings first. Split the Vikings! The Ball Lightning! They split the Vikings here. Lutalo coming from above. Mind control does not land. Boss is low. The Skeletal Mages on the side. Falstad ready to gust from above. Eric dead first. Wind Tunnel, but Boss still alive. Viking play again. Interrupted by the Apocalypse. The Divine Shield onto Uther to try and hold the point, but Diablo trying to keep it sustained. Everyone fighting on this objective. Uther is dead. Ghost healing to try and keep it alive. Control Chaos. Gates the point. Mind control, but it's not enough. Down goes Sonya. The Vikings play again, but it's too late. The Infinite Lightning spreads between the Vikings forever. And that leaves Bud unaverted with a mounted up Hosty chasing him down. The only one left. The bait is real. There's the mind control, but that's only to buy time. Unaverted knows that he will fall. All he's doing is buying time before his core takes damage. Diablo already on the way. Falstad gonna port back to full top himself up here. Looks like are they not committing to end? Masquerade's going in. Here comes Hosty. With everyone dead, the boss should probably do it, but I think they should probably hit the core. But alright. There we go. With Hosty coming in here, this is game over now. That is going to be game number 3. Simplicity will move on to the grand finals in a 3-1. Consistent for them. Very consistent for them. Able to take the fourth game, in the series. Simplicity will move on to the grand finals. They will take victory. WildHearts, they move on to the lower bracket. where they will have to take a second attempt at making their way out of making their way into the grand finals. I would love to see that matchup again. I would love to see these two play each other again. It's really, really good. From gauntlet to finals, exactly. Simplicity, the underdog story. The difference is the underdog story usually doesn't result in people doing the floss in their opponent's face after you've beaten them. That's a little toxic. But hey, these players know each other. I'm sure it's fine. Simplicity make it through. Oh, spinny circle. Okay. Did they just end the clean feed? Is the clean feed gone? Or did it die? Alright, well, we'll jump back to me because something just went wrong clearly. Something just happened clearly. Alright, let's do the prediction. Choose outcome. Simplicity. Congratulations on your points. Complete prediction. Nicely done. Simplicity, take the win. Yeah, I think they just ended the stream? What's happened here? Hang on, I'm going to the CCL room. Clean Free Streamer is rebooting router to make sure no more dropped frames. Okay, so yeah, there was an issue. So they're rebooting, so we're going to have a new clean feed in a second. Same person, but they're going to be trying to fix it. Alrighty, so that's our first series of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We have Simplicity making their way on to the grand final. And we'll be getting ready to jump into that very shortly. So what I'm going to do is check to see if the main stream has an interview, and if it does, I will jump you over to that. Thanks for the points, I mean game. They do have an interview, so I'm going to jump you over to that, and when we come back, it will be the lower bracket game of Auction Esports versus Crowd Control. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back in but a moment.
Grubby.
Yeah, a lot of beautiful moments. Just thank you for some wonderful Heroes of the Storm play from you guys, your opponents as well. But let's talk about some moments that you had. There were two that stand out the most. Deckard Kane on Volskaya. You were getting pulled in at the top lane. You survived with 10% life or 5% or like 40 HP, I don't know. After saving Tychus, he got all in during the transformation to Odin. You've just been making all the moves. Like, how did you feel on that Volskaya moment as Deckard?
That moment felt good. I think we kind of threw that end game. It got a little bit clowny, but we did a good job of recovering after a first loss, because that's the first time. I mean, I think every single series we've played up till now has started out 2-0 in our favor. So starting out 0-1 was different for us, but it's nice to see like the response from our team.
How did you rally?
I think pretty much just afterwards, we all just kind of talked and we're like, it's just one game. Like we had that, like we were way up. We just kind of threw. We just need to close out and focus up. So.
Fair enough. Bahamut?
Going into WildHeart, what kind of prep did you do? Because I know it's probably one of the hardest teams to prep against. Were you expecting all these Lilies, Vikings, all that kind of stuff? Or were you just kind of like, we'll take it as it comes at us and we'll adjust our draft to it? I'm just very interested in the draft mentality going into today as well as during the games.
Yeah, they definitely throw, pun intended, wild things at people. And I think their biggest thing is like they thrive in that chaos environment, because every single scrim match, everything that they do is always like in that chaos. So that like game one, we kind of just fell apart in the late game when they were throwing all that at us. So we were expecting a lot of different things. Going into this weekend, I think like Friday night, Kira and I draft prepped for like 4 hours of just doing mock drafts back and forth.
Wow.
So we definitely did our homework for this weekend, and really coming to this series, we said, we're just going to play our game until they beat us with it, and then we'll adjust from there. And then they beat us map 1, so it was a little monko with that, but we were able to come back, figure it out.
Your hard work is really paying off, and it's definitely showing in these games that we've seen through the gauntlet bracket as well as our playoff bracket. Congratulations on your victory here, Legacy. Very well earned.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I like to say practice makes perfect, and it was a near perfect series. Near perfect, not quite perfect, but near perfect series from Simplicity, I think, today. Before we send you off to start your practice for the grand finals, any final shout outs you want to make?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Simplicity, to Party Foul, to the entire team. I think everyone has really stepped it up in the last couple weekends, playing really well. Shout out to you all for putting on this awesome tournament, and shout out to all the viewers. And then final shout out to my family. I actually have quite a bit of like cousins and aunts and uncles and parents and my brother all watching this weekend. So
Awesome.
it's been pretty cool getting texts from them, like,
Yeah.
excited about us winning. So yeah, shout out to them.
That's great. Hey, the family that watches esports together, well, I mean, is a much happier family. We'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
It's a good family thing anyway. But congratulations on the big win and the epic run through the playoffs for Simplicity. It's been a ton of fun to watch. It's been a ton of fun to see. Can't wait to see you guys play in the grand finals. Have some good practice, and we'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.